For the first time in more than a decade, Charlton Athletic will have back-to-back seasons in the Sky Bet Championship. I think it's fair to say it's been a whirlwind season for Nathan Jones, his side, and us as fans. In our end-of-season review, we have plenty to get through. We'll take an in-depth look at the ups and downs of the 2025-26 season. We'll be finding out what Curbs, Brownie and Charlotte were doing in South Africa. We'll speak with club chairman Gavin Carter to look back at the 25-26 season as well as look ahead to the plans for the future. And following today's show, you'll be able to stay tuned for Charlton Under-18's huge PDL playoff final against Wigan Athletic right here at Wembley. Well, as you can see, we have a bigger panel than normal. I'm delighted to be joined by Club Chairman Gavin Carter, Chairman of the Ex-Players Association, Stevie Brownie, Cray Valley Manager, Kevin Lisbie, and some geezer called Alan Curbishley, who actually lets us sit here once a month in his stand. So, Llewellyn Curbishley, big apologies. Brownie, with you and Gavin here in the studio, we've got two chairmen here. Can you believe it? Who's got the tougher job?
Oh, me. I've got to manage Lucy McNicholas. He don't have to do any of that. He gets away with murder.
Curbs, one chairman's enough, isn't it?
Yeah. I know who I'll choose.
He's on me at the moment. I have to say, he's on a right downer with me.
Who, Curbs?
Curbs, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Something he done about 20 years ago.
Yeah. Listen, he should be thanking you for those 7 one-year contracts you gave him all those years ago. Gavin, seriously, great to have you back on Charlton TV. You're looking forward to the show and the game as well?
It's good to be here. Yep, Under-18s tonight as well, cup final. Yep, good day.
Yeah. And Liz?
Go on in. Let's have it.
He blew it, didn't he?
A tough few months of management. How would you sum up?
Great experience. Did all I could for the team. The team responded well the last 6-7 games, but it weren't enough. In our last 6 games, we got 3 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss. But by that point, not enough points in the table. When you're relying on the other teams to lose games, and it just weren't meant to be.
Yeah. Okay, but you're going to go back into it? You're going to?
Yeah. I'll give it another
carry
crack.
on, yeah.
Get my own players in and give it a go and see how it works out.
Get your boys in, you might have more of a chance.
Yeah,
I don't know who that was knocking on the door, by the way. But
Dave Lockwood, the voice of the valley.
Dave Lockwood, the voice of the valley.
Great timing.
Then you open knocking on the door.
Great timing.
And you've just heard Charlotte Richardson there in the background as well, so we were looking forward to speaking to her. Definitely not the hot dogs.
He's not busy.
Went into them. Curbs, before we move on, just any words of advice for a young fledgling manager who wants to make his name in the game?
Take a sleeping tablet Friday night because you won't get to sleep. And watch the grey hairs coming, Kev.
I've got two.
No, you got a few more now.
Have I? Thanks for that.
Okay, look, I think it's fair to say there were plenty of ups, but there also were some downs this season as well. We want to look back at some of the highlights. And Liz, the first game of the season as well, it was a bouncing Valley, a late winner. Couldn't ask for more, could we?
Yeah, I mean, we got the result that we was after. It's not necessarily about performances. I think once you play your first home game back at the Valley for so long, and to get a late winner to secure the 3 points was massive for the boys. And I'm sure when you go into a new division, you're always unsure how it's going to work out, and you get that 3 points, and it gives us a good start.
Brownie, it was a great to have Chris Powell back as well. We had him, of course, which was fantastic. How important was that in terms of getting him and other players for home games?
Yeah, I mean, we packed out every home game in terms of the lounges and guests, but that one was quite a difficult one. It took me about 3 or 4 goes because he was quite reluctant to do it. And and I sold the first game back at the Championship, and it'll be packed and it'll be busy. And to be fair to the Coverdin, they were all in their seats early that day. You know, when you get into the regular season, it's not as packed that quickly. But for that first one back in the Championship, sun was out, and I was sat right behind it on a diagonal. And when he come out, they all stood up, and it was one of those hairs on the back of your neck goes up moments, because he thoroughly deserves anything he gets anytime he comes back here. And it turns out it was a brilliant start to the season as well with the late winner. So yeah, it was an excellent moment for me personally, because it took a while to get him back. Great to see Powley back at the Valley, and the Coverdin was superb as they all went up as one. So it was brilliant.
Gav, how was the feeling for you, the anticipation of the start of the new season, being back in the Championship?
Yeah, no, it was great, wasn't it? You know, as you said, a pretty full Valley. Great day. A lot of prep went into the summer. Great to see Nibs get the goal at the end there. You know, obviously a new signing. Having Powley there was great. Was it you or was it I that got him there?
Seriously.
Started already.
Let me tell you. Well, you were there yesterday when I gave him a little hit after in the Q&A, and he come back with a Curbishley counter jab, didn't he?
Well, okay, we'll just quickly mention we're at the Charlton Athletic Community Trust Golf Day, which is amazing. It was a great day, wasn't it? And Charlotte was great hosting it as well. You tried to give a little bit to Gav. You gave him a little jab, and he just left hooked you, didn't he?
Oh,
He
no,
put
it
you on
wasn't
the
just a
floor.
left hook. He set up the left hook with a right jab. Right jab, left hook, and I was like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that.
I mean,
Just going back to
not physically, of course, but just verbally. you know.
Forget Brownie.
Yeah.
Just going back to Powley, it was the easiest transfer ever. I met him at Dartford Bridge. He was at Southend, and he walked in and he went, "Just give me what the rest of the boys are on. I want to come." And it was done in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I gave him what Brownie was on, and he went, "I'm not coming."
And he went, I'm out of here.
Gav, I've got to say though, some big wins on the road this season. Ipswich, Sheffield United, Borough was a great one as well, wasn't it? But how much you enjoyed watching Charlton successful again in these types of stadiums?
Oh no, Ipswich was great. Curbs, you were with us. The first half was tough. I mean, I wouldn't have called us winning that 3-0 at half time, but that was good. But I remember vividly actually being in the car park afterwards, and we had to remind ourselves that, you know, this was good, but it was going to get hard, and we knew it was going to get hard. And I think that was a period where, you know, expectations were getting a little lofty across the board. You know, ownership, fans, maybe even Nathan and the players. And, you know, the season got tough and we knew it was going to get tough. But grinding out those results on the road, Sheffield United, you know, it was pouring down all game. But great to see Tanto get the goal and get a 1-0 win there. And then Middlesbrough again, backs against the wall. Great performance. You know, Cody was fantastic in that game. Glad that he got the winner there as well. And, you know, I think that was the game which we felt, to be honest, that we'd done it. It was then disappointing performance at Oxford the following Saturday, and it took us a while to get it over the line. Glad we got it done here against Hull, and we weren't going into Swansea needing anything. So we made life harder for ourselves than we probably needed to. But those three performances on the road, I think, you know, it wasn't always attractive, but we ground out the results, and we knew we were going to need to do that coming into the season.
And Curbs, you mentioned, didn't you, when we were up there at the time, and then even afterwards as well, there was almost, I like the word you used actually, correction, because that was a little bit unrealistic for us to stay up there.
Well, I've said it a couple of times. We were in the top 7, 8, and people were talking about the Premier League. And then when we was in the bottom 7, people were thinking, oh no, we're going to go down. And that's the life of a football fan and a chairman, I think. And you know, and a manager. It's very difficult, but you know, the main aim was to stay in this league. You know, winning promotion, staying in this league makes us more attractive this summer. And, you know, looking forward to next season. And I'm sure the fans are.
Gav, there were some real highs, but there were some lows as well. What sticks out for you? What was one of the low points during the season?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Curbs has always advised me, don't ride the highs too high or the lows too low. And, you know, and you're dead right on that. I think, look, some of the injuries we picked up were really disappointing. I think some of the players that we purchased, just as we felt they were about to kick on, you know, they were injured again. That's disappointing. You know, obviously Goddard's was a huge miss all season. You know, we think there was another 7 points out there if we'd had Godden fit all season. So that was difficult. You know, I think you know, there's periods where the pressure begins to build, and you feel it here at the Valley, the pressure building. And, you know, the Valley can be great, and sometimes, you know, when we disappoint on the pitch, you know, that's a low. No one wants to let anybody down. But I think there were more highs than lows. I think, you know, it was always going to be a tough season. But, you know, we outfought how much we spent on the team, to be honest with you. I always talk about that. Bottom quartile budget, probably second or third lowest in the league. And, you know, we came higher than that. And that's what we've got to keep on doing. As we increase the player budget, we want to keep outperforming that. Those marginal gains will be what our success is predicated on.
And even though the scoreline suggests, well, it's not a positive result, it wasn't a positive result. I actually thought we played really well against Chelsea as well. What was it like to bring the club world champions here at the Valley?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great night, wasn't it? I mean, look at it there on the screen. I mean, it was fantastic to see the place full. I thought we gave them a real run for their money, but they're like 330 million on the bench. I mean, I think on that game, I think it was only Charlie was the only player that we'd really paid anything for that started that game. So, you know, it was an imbalance, but I thought we did well. And so for me, even though we lost the game, you know, that was a high. And look, there were some other lows, but I'm not going to mention them because, you know, we're going to write some of those lows next year.
And Brownie, while I suppose the neutrals never really felt that we were in trouble, you never fully feeling comfortable in being part of Charlton until we are. How much was it a relief, that win against Hull?
Yeah, it was needed, and I think we won 1 of the last 8, so it was a long time coming. And we were all sitting there thinking Sheffield will be the game, we'll get the win and that'll be that, and we can relax a bit, and it never happened, and we just couldn't quite find a way to get it over the line. And it was kind of, you know, there were opportunities to do it, and they bypassed us. And as you start closing down games and Oxford start winning a couple, there was a little nervousness creeping in. And it was really good to get it over the line in front of the home side. I mean, we missed a result that I think was important at Leicester, actually. You talk about other away games. I thought Leicester was really important. We'd lost Derby. We got thumped against our local rivals, Millwall. And I thought there was the first time there was a question about, right, what's the squad got in it? And it bounced back with a bit of character. And it showed it's got some resilience. And from that Leicester game, I was a little bit more confident about us staying up, no problem. I kept saying it in commentary.
Helped with the setting off.
It did, but nevertheless, you know, you've played against 10 men. I have. I've been in a team that's been down to 10 men, and it's difficult. And they got the 2 goals before half time, and it settled the nerves a little bit, and they went on and got the result. And I thought that was a really important result at that given time. So, you know, the week that Gav's talking about was a really important week for 7 points in 3, which we didn't think we were going to get. And that really was the week everyone went, right, we're okay. But we just couldn't get that final win. So it was really, really good to get it at home in front of our fans, I think, because that made a big difference.
Curbs, how would you sum up the season as a whole?
Successful. That's what I said. I think, you know, coming to watch the games as I do, and you know that you're up against opposition that have just been relegated. You're up against opposition that have spent more money than yourselves. And it was just a question of staying up. I'd like to have seen it done earlier, like everybody, so you could relax and quite enjoy it. But it's been done. And, you know, as I've said earlier, I didn't get carried away when we was in the top 7. And like everybody, you get a little bit worried when you're in the bottom 7, but it was just about staying up.
Have a quick look at the league table, Liz. How would you sum it up?
It's success, isn't it? It has to be success. If you said at the beginning of the season, what's your aim? Your aim would be to stay above that line, and we did. And as everyone said, ideally we would have liked to have done it a bit earlier, but this is the Championship. You've got Premiership clubs in there, and to get over the line is a massive thing. To get 3 points in the Championship alone is a massive thing. I know we sit here and we say we should win that game, we should win that game. There's 10 men. It's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you're on a losing streak and confidence sort of drains away from the players and the fans, and the nervousness starts hitting the crowd. So, look, I'm sure we'll go again next season, and I'm sure we'll look to be higher than where we were this season. And I think that'll be our next aim. And I think we just got to keep plugging away because it's a difficult league.
How about the teams that come up with us? You know, how did they fare? And they spent a lot more money than us. You know, so yeah, successful.
Yeah, I think, considering the money that was spent this year was all about survival, and I think we certainly did that. And I'll talk to you a little bit later on, Gav, how the future might well look as well. They've alluded to that already. Okay, Brownie may have starred in the Meantime quiz. Remember?
I do.
That we showed last month. Let's see if that knowledge was demonstrated throughout the season, shall we? You had some predictions at the start of the season for top scorer, player of the year, and young player of the year.
So starting off with the 2025-26 top goal scorer for Charlton.
Mr. Kelman.
Kilman.
Tanto.
Do you know what? If he gets back to fitness, I'm going to stick with Matty Gordon.
I thought you could say Liebling.
Carlo?
Oh.
And then this season's men's player of the year.
Kaminsky.
Nibs. Jones.
Again, if he's fit, Burke.
And the young player of the season.
We need time here.
I'll go if you want. Fuller.
Campbell.
Tyrese will be nicking it for a third time, I think.
Does he still qualify?
I had it twice as well, so.
Campbell for me.
I like TC when he came in. I'll go with TC.
He's exciting, isn't he? He is.
Listen, Fuller. If he breaks through, he's got it all day. Got to break through though.
We'll see. Got to break through. My goodness me, that seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? Blimey. Okay, Brownie, you predicted Lloyd Jones as player of the year. He won it. Talk us through how important he was this season.
Oh, very. Yeah, I think in terms of clean sheets kept, we actually punched well above our weight in terms of league position. So I thought defensively there was a lot of questions asked of us as a back three, back five, chucking the goalkeeper as well. And I thought Lloyd commanded that central position very, very well. I would say we're not as strong when he's not in that position, and when he's there, it's not only, you know, the leadership qualities he brings. If there's a block to be made, a header to be won, you know, he just finds a way to get it done for you. And yeah, I think we're weaker without him in the side. So, you know, it was good to see him actually have a whole season with, you know, and he does pick up the little knocks because of the way he throws himself into blocks, and he does take responsibility 1v1 physically against their centre forward. So he does pick up these little knocks. And I thought the consistency he showed by and large across the season with all the things that he's picking up, every game he seems to be holding something. You know, yeah, there's a good leader in there and a good character.
How vital was he for you, Liz?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, I probably should have said Charles myself. Just going by the season.
Easy with hindsight.
Yeah, I know, but
Well, I went Tanto, didn't finish it.
Yeah. But listen, I think yeah, I'll lose some sleep. Yeah, watching him play, you can understand, and as Brownie said, like, he's one of those players, and when he's not in the team, you do miss him, and when he is in the team, you sort of take advantage of him being there. He's one of those players I believe probably could play in any team in this division. He's exactly what you want from a centre back in these divisions. So yeah, look, he's massive for us, and as Brownie says, when he's not there, he's massively missed, I think.
You predicted Ibrahim Fuller as the young player of the year.
Yeah.
2 out of 2.
Took a stab in the dark on that one because, you know, he wasn't probably well known by everybody at that point. But he's performed like some of the kids out here tonight. You know, they're playing tonight, and we've got a very good team out here, by the way. They've excelled this season, and actually the last couple of seasons as a group they've excelled. So, you know, there could be a kid out here that wins next year's. So it was a bit of a punt, but I knew he'd done very, very well in previous seasons, Fuller. So it was just I didn't want to go with Tyrese again because he was in the first team, he was doing well, and it was a bit predictable. But that's luck more than judgment. That one.
And no one predicted Sonny Carey as top scorer.
No.
Didn't see that coming, did we?
Well, I mean, to have an attacking midfield player that gets that amount of goals is fantastic for any club. You know, you always think that when he's got half a chance, he's going to take it, which is great. And you can perhaps give him the licence, perhaps, you know, not to do all the defensive work, whatever, hoping it's going to spin round and he gets in the final third and it ends up with him. Yeah, so having a midfield player that scores that many goals is fantastic.
Yeah, you agree with all them, Gav?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it wasn't me that gave Brownie Ibby, because I watched him in Slovenia. The pre-season we did in Slovenia, and he scored a couple, I think, out there, and he is a special talent. You know, I'm disappointed that we didn't see more of him. I think that that's one of the things which, you know, we need to make sure we've got a pathway for the youngsters, because they're only going to get better if they play, and it is difficult whether you send them out on loan or whether you keep them here. You know, some of the loan players we sent out have done fantastic, but no, Ibby's a special talent.
We're getting a theme here. That whenever Brownie's right, there seems to be someone telling you, and that someone seems to be Gavin.
The left wing of this panel is getting on my nerves a little bit, Scotty. Not you. You're centre. You're centre forward. Right side's very solid, reliable. Left side's like bitter and angry, if you ask me.
Bitter.
Well, it feels like it, Curbs. My left side's burning, my right side's nice and cool.
It could get a lot worse.
Yeah, well,
I think it will get a lot worse. On that note, and speaking of end of season awards as well, the goal of the season has yet to be decided. Let's have a look at the nominees.
Out from Doherty's found Alafe in the left-hand corner, edge of the penalty area. Tees up inside Carey. Carey looking to shoot. Carey takes. Oh! What a goal from Sonny Carey! Teed up by Alafe and then drilled the ball home to the right side of the keeper. And Charlton do have the second goal. Quickly up towards Kelman. Brilliant. Touch and takedown from Kelman, and finds Campbell to his left. Campbell with space into the penalty area on the left-hand side, looking for options now. Ball out to the edge, and Carey, Doherty trying to tee up Bree, takes the shot. Oh, what a finish that is! Outstanding strike from James Bree on the right-hand side, halfway towards the corner of the penalty area in the 6-yard box, and he absolutely leathered that into the top corner. Shea gets his head there, but straight to Carey. Carey looking for options. Sonny Carey bringing it forward. Still Sonny Carey. Edge of the box. Sonny Carey into the box. Shoots and scores! Sonny Carey opens a score for Charlton. 6 minutes into the second half, and the Addicts strike first.
Well, we have said that's a one thing, and opportunities are another.
Campbell, players hovering round him, inside to Kelman, shot! And Charlie Kelman, back from injury, is back on the score sheet, and Charlton have the lead.
Let me tell you, Campbell with the ball inside. I want to talk to you about that first touch. On the back foot, opened up the opportunity to get the right foot shot away. It's what he brings.
It's the 1-2 of Anderson. Campbell gets it back, still with it. Tyrese Campbell will go for goal, and it's a brilliant goal. And Charlton have a way back, and it's a wonderful strike from Tyrese Campbell.
And that is exactly what we were hoping for, and that's exactly what we were talking about. That's a wonderful little bit of doggedness from Tyrese Campbell.
Goes on a run. Charlton body's getting it bounces. A good ball towards Carey. Carey with the touch. Carey, can he finish? Yes, he can, is the answer. Sonny Carey. As we've seen so much this season, being the man for Charlton, getting the goal. And in this crucial game, it's Sonny Carey who gives Charlton a lead after 35 minutes.
Yeah, all about the pace and the attack, wasn't it?
Right-hand side for Charlton, looks up down the line to Kelman. Kelman back inside to Dykes. Dykes controls. Can Dykes finish? He can! It's a brilliant goal for Lyndon Dykes for Charlton. Lovely exchange between Dykes and Kelman. And Dykes just managed to get the ball beyond Vitek off the inside of the post. And Charlton have the equaliser.
Yeah, squeezes that ball past the oncoming keeper.
Here it comes. Headed on by Ramsey, might come the way of Gordon! What a brilliant strike! From the substitute, chests it down, swivels and volleys, and gives those away supporters something more to cheer.
Kicks headed away by Jones, up to Kelman. Kelman inside and then released by Cody on a run. That's great work from Kelman into the area. Trying to get it on his right foot, gets a shot away. Oh! Charlie Kelman with an absolute beauty of a shot into the top corner. Charlie Kelman ran into the channel, beautifully found by Cody. Got it back onto his right foot, left his man on the floor and dispatched his shot beyond Pandor into the top corner. Unstoppable, and Charlton have the lead.
Control from Fevrier. Now looks to turn onto his left foot, still with it. Fevrier beyond Egan. Edge of the penalty, and Fevrier will go for goal! Jaden Fevrier with a wonderful strike for Charlton. Cutting inside onto his left foot. And Hull tried to bring him down, they couldn't do so. And Jaden Fevrier has just restored Charlton's lead.
Well, I think to say some cracking goals in there, but actually for goal of the season, we normally decide the goal of the month. It's not us who are going to be deciding, it is going to be you. So head over to the Charlton website and official app to get voting. Despite that though, we want to hear what you guys have given as goal of the season. Should we start, where do you want to start? On the left?
I like Breeze. I must admit, I like
do.
Breeze. But I think Charlie Kelman, the bender.
Gav?
That's not come out right.
I like Breeze. I like Breeze for the whole team.
It did until he said that. No. Sorry, Gav.
Breeze for the teamwork.
Yeah, Breeze for the teamwork because Charlie's first touch is phenomenal. TC's got the ball across. You know, Doc's laid it off, and Breeze is a great finish. But for me, it's got to be Kelman in that last game here at the Valley, just because there was so much riding on it. He scored 7 goals. He took a little bit of stick unfairly, Charlie. He didn't have a pre-season with us. I think full pre-season here, if he stays fit, I think he could be a big player for us next year.
How nervous were you before that game?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I mean, it was like the playoff again.
Was it?
It was. Yeah, there's a lot riding on it.
Okay.
You know, it was as big a game for us as it was the playoff, and you know, different obviously, but it was a game I think we all felt we needed to get the job done there. None of us wanted to go to Swansea needing anything, so it was great to do it in front of the fans here as well.
Absolutely. Liz, goal of the season?
I'm going Kelman, and I think just like Curb said, I think Bree is definitely a close second, but you're looking at the occasion and you're looking at the finish itself. He starts inside the box, he takes it outside, the ball's almost outside his body, and to generate that much power with that much accuracy into the top hand corner, it's a great finish.
Any as good as any of your Liverpool
No,
goals at all?
no,
None of them?
different divisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's not even the same league.
All right, fair enough.
Internationals everywhere. Wasn't it?
It's just by the keeper.
Exactly.
Brandog?
Nothing to add. I like Bree's goal from the touch from Kelman, which was a goal. It was a goalkeeper kick out, and he's pulled it out of the sky, stone dead. Lovely build up, brilliant finish. Doherty's little cushion volley across, and the finish itself was brilliant. But if you take the circumstances of the result required against Hull and the accuracy of that shot, you've got to go Kelman.
Okay, nothing to add, and yet you still added quite a lot.
Do that easy. You can do it easy. And I had more to deliver. I pulled it back.
I'll say I've got nothing to add. I agree with you about James Bree. I agree with you about Charlie Kelman. So for me,
You never said a word when he played.
Well, no, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
In the car on the way
just-
up.
just, yeah.
In the car on the way
On
up.
the pitch if you missed the
With
chance.
No.
with Nelson, Gats, and
No, I was,
Kim.
I was,
Yeah,
I was,
Kim
I
Grant,
was
yeah.
vocal out there once
That was
I
a
found
noisy
the voice.
car going back to Brighton, that was.
Kurs refused to go in that one, even though he lived down that way at that particular time. Okay, we want to know what you think. You know what we think, but what do you think? So please head over to the app and the website to make your decision. Okay, we've looked back at our first season in the Championship. Now it's time to look ahead, and who better to discuss the future with than a lifelong addict who also happens to be the Charlton chairman as well. Gav, look, before we delve into the specifics of this summer, maybe you can talk us through the longer term planning for the club.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said before, we've got a 5-year plan. We had one before in League One. We executed that ahead of schedule. So we reset the 5-year plan. The first year, we've achieved our objectives. We got more fans in the stadium than we had targeted, which is great. So, you know, thank you to everybody. Already we've sold more season tickets, actually, in terms of pounds generated than we did all of last season. So we're well ahead on the season tickets this year. So that's fantastic, because we can't execute this plan without the supporters. So the second year of the plan is to build, continue to build. We've got a lot of work to do. You know, as you've seen from the player release list, there's not many players that are out of contract. So, you know, we've got to look at the squad, and, you know, if we're going to bring players in, then we've got to move some players on, you know, which isn't easy. The commercial revenues are doing well, you know, well up on last year. We've got a couple of things that we'll be announcing shortly in terms of new partnerships, which is exciting. Next year we want to be even more competitive than we were this year in the Championship. The playoffs coming down to 8th position, so there's a third of the league now that has the opportunity to compete to go to the Premier League, is exciting for us. So, you know, managing expectations, and next year is going to be another year which we're going to build, but we're going to keep improving all aspects of the football club to hopefully get back to where Curbs had us. Well, where both these guys at, where all three of, well, yeah, all the had us in the Premier League.
Well, I was here, not here, I was at Selhurst before the Premier League. I don't think football apparently existed before then, but anyway, no, and that's the longer term aim. So in terms of the short term for this particular summer, you said about obviously you've got to get rid of players. Which comes first, bringing players in, taking players out? What can we expect from this summer?
Look, sequencing this is difficult, yeah, because ideally you'd get players out, you'd get the cash in, and then you'd spend the cash. But we don't live in a perfect world, so sequencing is going to be difficult. But we are going to do stuff in a fiscally sustainable way. I've said many times I'm not going to risk the future of the football club. You see teams do it all the time, and owners do come and go. And I'm not going to put us in a position where we've made too many commitments that we can't then fund in the future. So we're going to do things in a fiscally secure way, but we are going to make progress.
Okay, Nathan's talked about being ruthless. How ruthless do you feel you have to be?
I think you've got to be pretty ruthless. I mean, this is tough. I mean, it's a great squad. I mean, Nathan talks about it. It is a great group of players that have got us this far. And there's a lot of youngsters in there as well that have been with us a long time. But I think you've got to make tough decisions. It is not just Nathan's choice. It is a team there which is making the choice around what the squad needs to be. And you have to make some real tough decisions. Because as I said, you know, players are under contract, which is great because when Global Football Partners came in, the squad was in a terrible state. Just in terms of the contracts, you know, players weren't under contracts, so assets were leaving without being monetised and stuff. People didn't want to play here either. You know, now, you know, people want to play here, so it's tough to say, you know, maybe you've got to go and play somewhere else. But, you know, we believe that we've got some assets there. We know where we need to strengthen, and, you know, we will be ruthless.
Where do we need to strengthen?
Well, I think there's some obvious positions where we had loan players come in the second half of the season. So, you know, you've got right wing back. Josh, you know, we hope is going to come back, you know, stronger on the left wing back side, but, you know, we need more there. We need more up front. You know, we didn't score enough goals this year. I mean, that's painfully obvious. And then I think in the middle of the park, you know, we want, you know, we don't want to rely on just Sonny. You know, we've got to make sure that, you know, we're carrying the ball and we're what Nathan wants us to be, fluid, aggressive. I don't think there's one area of the pitch where we can't improve. I think that's got to be the mentality. But there's clearly some areas of the squad where there were lone players that we want to look to, you know, bring in the right squad players for next year.
Curbs, you've been in this position before, at a high level, of course, getting us into the Premier League and keeping us there. How ruthless do you have to be, and how difficult is it getting rid of players maybe who aren't out of contract? You know, who comes first? It's almost chicken and egg, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but the main thing is I used to sit down at the end of every season with Richard Murray and perhaps some other board members and discuss where we'd like to be this time next year and what we could do to do that. And as long as everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, did you often align?
We had a few disagreements, but yeah. But invariably, we said, like, look, you know, the first year we got up, it was staying up. Second year, perhaps it was staying up. And then Mitchell was saying, well, perhaps we're a bit better than that. And I'd say, well, you better pull some more money up then. You know, and we had that sort of conversation. And I think, I'm sure that Nathan and the rest of the board will have them conversations. And if Nathan gets backed all the way, then I think it's right for the board to say, well, we don't think we should be looking over our shoulders this year. We think we're better than that. And, you know, have that sort of agreement. And that's how I used to do it every summer.
And the final one, Gav, to you. Richard Law, who spent a large part of his career at Arsenal, has been appointed as a non-executive director. Just talk us through what he'll bring.
Well, you've got to strengthen the squad, you've got to strengthen the board. So, you know, we've added another independent director here, someone that clearly has a lot of experience, knows what, you know, elite looks like. You know, again, it's part of our vision statement is to be elite, and you know, Richard, you know, we nicknamed Dick, so, you know, he'll go by Dick Law here, I think. But he's someone that knows what good looks like. He's been around. He's got a very international view on things. So, you know, we've been expanding the recruitment team. Collins is a good example that we brought in from Serbia. You know, these guys will talk about South Africa in a moment, but we want to look more international, and he's someone that can bring experience of what international trading looks like, because you probably can get better value there. There's some immigration challenges around that, but, you know, there is a well thought through process here. Dick's role isn't to select players or choose players. He, like me, will look at governance structures and make sure that we're doing what the process said that we should do. So it is about assuring that those processes are being undertaken. But I think also offering advice and mentoring, I mean, upwards, you know, to me, you know, as well as down and across as well.
Okay, looks like it's being built on and off the pitch, strengthening in many good ways. Now, we've still got plenty coming up, and our under-18s have a huge game here at the Valley this evening, live immediately after us. It is the PDL playoff final against Wigan Athletic, and we caught up with the under-18s coach and former club captain, Jason Pearce, to talk about it.
It was a comfortable win in the end on Saturday for your side, although it didn't begin in the best way. What was your overall assessment of the game?
Yeah, no, I felt like we deserved to win the game overall, definitely. I thought we had a lot more possession than them. I just felt first half, I was disappointed at half time in terms of our ball speed, everything, in speed of everything really. I felt like we could have done everything a lot quicker in possession and out of possession, and look forward more, being more of a threat. And obviously disappointing to concede a poor goal on our behalf. But the reaction in the second half was excellent. Scored a couple of really good goals. So no, really pleased to get to the final.
And your team showed plenty of character to come back from a goal down. What do you think the players learned from that experience?
I think throughout the season we know we can score goals. So we knew going a goal down that we'd score goals, and that was one of the messages that we said at half time, was you will score, and we know that. So as long as we got the next goal and didn't have a mountain to climb, we knew we'd had a chance in getting back in the game and then winning the game. So in terms of their learning, I think they've showed real resilience throughout the season to, if they go a goal down, to come back and come back in games. So no, I knew we'd get chances. It's just then if we take them.
And how much of a boost does playing at the Valley give your players, especially after that win on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. We've been into since I've come in, we've got into the final a couple of times, and we've had to play away from home. One time at the stadium, one not at the stadium. I think to be an opportunity for the players to play at home is fantastic for them, and to play at the Valley. I think they obviously go and watch the first team a lot and see how they play with all the fans and that there. So having their friends and family there at the Valley is a fantastic occasion for them.
And we face Wigan's under-18s on Friday, and they've just won the Northern Division and beaten Millwall. What do you expect from them?
They're going to be tough. Yeah, they're a real good squad. They've got a good squad. They've got some good individuals. They're a Northern team. Obviously, I played there, so I know what it's about playing for that football club. So they're going to be really a real tough team, quite a direct team. So we got to be. We've got to be on top of our game, and we've got to start the game fast, because they could take it away from us if we don't start fast. So yeah, the message will be it will be a tough game, and we need to get out the blocks quick, but also we want to play our football as well. So yeah.
And what's your message to the group ahead of what will be likely the biggest game of their journey so far?
Yeah, listen, like I said before, the group have been involved in some big games in their careers already, so they've had some experience of that. It's now just putting them learning experiences into play now, and trying to get over the line and win the game. So no, it'll be, again, nothing changes in terms of our preparation for the game. We prepare exactly the same, and it comes down to who's better on the day, and hopefully we can come out on top, but it'll be a good test.
Yeah, Piercy was a great club captain. Great to see him doing so well in the academy, and also speaks very well as well. You can see the lads, the youngsters, warming up in the home of football at the Valley. I mean, it's a great occasion, Liz, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, it brings back some memories. I know it was a bit of a while ago for me, but like some of these boys may never play in occasions bigger than this, unfortunately. So yeah, it's massive. And as Piercy just says, their families will be there, their friends will be there. It's a great occasion. I'm sure some of them would need 20, 30 tickets. So I suggest they enjoy the day and try and get the most out of it.
Who should we be looking out for, Brownie?
Oh, well, there's a young centre-half that will play tonight called Chetan Mezinwata, and he's an under-16, and there's high hopes for him. You've got Ed Thomas, who we've seen across the season in goal of the month. It's another prospect. Raymond Richmond, I think, is another one. You know, so and I've been told to get Elliot Tate in because it's a family member of our Vice Chairman Paul. So we'll get Elliot in as well.
Okay, well done.
But yeah. But no.
Ellis plays as well. I've coached him, by the way. He's
well done.
10.
Well done.
He's got 18 goals this season.
So that's you.
Just saying. Just watch out for
take credit for that. But if we're honest, I said it earlier. They've had an incredible year, and I think all second years got pro contract, which is extremely unusual. You know, I've done under-18s coaching, and but it's very unlikely to get 100% through as pros. You do well to get maybe 5 out of the 8.
You can't.
Yeah, but they've done it this year, and it's a good group. And I was speaking to Kevin James, who's the academy coach, who's also a family member of Elliot Tate, so family related somewhere. But Kev speaks really highly of this group, you know, really highly, and he expects good things from them moving forward as well. So we're in good hands.
Okay, well, we wish them all the very best. Remember, stay after us. You can watch the game in full. Looking forward to that one against a young Wigan Athletic. Now, as well as on the pitch, this season represented for the first time in 17 years that Charlton averaged more than 20,000 people at the Valley over the course of a season. And with that in mind, let's take a look at a little teaser at the latest instalment of What It Means to Be Charlton episode.
Football's my life. Yeah. I can not stop watching football.
As a little baby.
Yeah. When I was six, I started doing training sessions with Charlton for Charlton disability accounts. Since then, I became a Charlton fan, and I went to more games.
He turns up every week, happy, talks, chats. Yeah, he's just, I can't say enough about him. He's just such a nice guy, and it's a pleasure to coach him.
My favourite bit here about Charlton is the Charlton match is that all the fans are getting very excited, and I feel like I'm one of them who's getting very excited.
I mean, and also spending time with me isn't bad either, is it?
No, if you say so.
But no, it is nice. Thanks, mate. But it's more than just a football match. It's everything else that you know goes with it.
Yeah! There we go!
Absolutely brilliant. Now, of course, you may have noticed we've made a positive substitution. Kevin Lisbie was starting to tire. We've brought on a finisher in Charlotte Richardson. Charlotte, great to see you. You okay?
Yeah, really well, thank you.
Well done yesterday on the golf day. It was really good fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. And you've been part of the What It Means to Be Charlton series, haven't you? How proud are you of that?
Really, really proud, and it's an extension really of some of the work we were doing, particularly in the build-up to that final day at Wembley. And I think an experience like that shines a spotlight on just how massive the Charlton Athletic fan base is, how eclectic it is, how it runs through people's families. So using these episodes as a platform to share a spotlight on people's loyalty, the commitment, but the individual stories. And as we see with Mikey and Sam there, you know, a young Charlton goalkeeper who loves nothing more than wearing that badge. And it was very humbling actually going to his community trust session on the Thursday and seeing again just what the community trust do. Brilliant. So hopefully we might be back with a few more episodes next year, because I think it's important we do that kind of content.
Good, eclectic, good word that, wasn't
Pass.
it? You've also been part of the school's partnership delivery team as well, that's resulted in nearly 4,000 tickets sold this season, including 1,500 at Norwich as well. How important has that scheme been for creating the fans for the future?
Yeah, it's creating the future of the football club, and again, it's just such a joy to do. And it's funny how many people stop you when you're walking around the valley, or you bump into random people in the most, you came to my school, or you came to my son's school. I actually got a message on Instagram from a Charlton Athletic supporter who we came to her school 25 years ago. She's still a Charlton season ticket holder. So I think the older fans appreciate the work we do within the community as well, and it is important because they get the access to the players, the men's and women's team, who really, in that short amount of time, can really sort of inspire them and give them a little bit of a look into what role modelling should be, really.
Brilliant. Well done with that. And on to South Africa now. It seems like everyone has seen the announcement of the club's strategic partnership with the Mark Fish Foundation, mainly because of the jacket that Mark was wearing. Brownie, not often we come to you with clothing queries, but what did you make of the jacket?
Well, I think there's a little story behind it, in as much as he bought that when he came to Charlton 25 years ago, whatever it was, and he said nobody would get it but the people in the room. But yeah, well, this was my first purchase when I joined Charlton, so he got it back out.
Is that right?
I mean, okay, it hasn't even gone out and come back in, has it? It's just out.
I wonder if your first purchase fits your...
My first purchase, well, funny you should say that. It doesn't.
That definitely is fishy rock and roll.
Yeah?
That's rock and roll fishing.
He's changed a little bit though, hasn't he? But
good.
fair play to him. Yeah, good guy. Gav, the partnership was the first of the new international football programme. Can you talk us through the idea behind this?
Yeah, I mean, we want to, we're now a championship football club with big ambitions, so we want to internationalise the brand. Want to do it for several reasons. We believe it can benefit us commercially. Talent ID, though, is a big part of this. And when we sat down and looked at how we were going to do this, speaking to these guys, we realised actually the Ex-Player Association was the perfect channel to begin to look overseas. And Fish and Barts came over here, 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, 24.
So they were the first sort of ex-players that we flew over from South Africa. They went down so well with the crowd. First time I think they'd been back since they played under Curbs here. And a lot of conversations have happened there. Fishy and I get on very well as well. Lots of WhatsApps back and forth, and it took a while to get together, but we were able to send a group down there. How long were you down there? 2 weeks?
No, I was 7 and Curbs was 5.
But the whole team
but
was
the
down
two,
there.
yeah, there was a.
2 weeks.
The first week was Joburg, which was the academy coaches and the community trust coaches, and they did a great job. The first week seemed a bit more punishing than the second week, if I'm honest with you, having looked at the schedule. But yeah, they did a great job first week, and we got. I mean, the figures have come in. It's over 300 kids coached.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a big market down there, Scott.
And you were telling me like the Charlton badge on banners and
so
boards
there
and
was
stuff.
so one of Fishy's sidekicks, who he's known since he was 18 years of age, just so happens he has the boards, the advertising boards, and he owns about 100 of them. And there's a picture of one of the digital ones with his son in a Charlton kit saying "Welcome to South Africa, Charlton Athletic," and it was a really nice touch. I think I forwarded you the shot, but they're very enthusiastic over there to make this work. Very, very enthusiastic, and I think there's bigger and better things to come. But my take on it is you can't cover all parts of the globe, Scotty, with scouting and recruitment. You just simply can't. And so if you've got ex-players in pockets running football clubs, running soccer clubs, running foundations as markets, you know, there was 3 players that we thought stood out, and there was a goalkeeper in the first week that I know Michael Ward was very keen on. So, you know, it's now navigating our way to get the costs implication of flying kids over to maybe come and train with our academy, which again, we've got to link up in this country to do that, and we've got to get that right in terms of getting them over here.
I know Curbs really enjoyed it as well, in particular with Durban and that, but we want to talk to you about the Lenny Lawrence dinner as well. I mean, it took a lot of organising to do, but how did you find that? I mean, for me, just sitting there eating food and drinking beer was a great night.
Yeah, I mean, they're tough to organise, and you know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes you've got to thank. You know, obviously, the one I thank the most is Lucy McNicholas, because without her, we just wouldn't get it over the line. But it was fantastic to see all these gentlemen again, and I've obviously you WhatsApp these people, these ex-players, and you have great relationships with them. But that night in particular for me, it was Steve Sutherland that brought it up with Lucy McNicholas about 9 months ago, saying it's the 40th year of Lenny Lawrence's promotion, and it just triggered something. I thought we've got to do something, and it led to that dinner. And I have to say, I thought Lenny and Curbs on stage were brilliant. It was great to see you and Rob up there as well. I thought the stories were fantastic, and then obviously we had John Humphries and Shirty doing a 15-minute piece as well. And I'm not sure we'll get that group together again, Scotty. So for me, it was invaluable, you know, and I have said, it's a bit cheesy, but I felt the responsibility of doing something for Lenny because no one had done anything up to that point. And I'm so thankful to Gavin and the ownership for allowing us to name a lounge after him, because I think that's thoroughly deserved. And there'll be somebody after me, hopefully, that takes up the reins of the ex-players. And when it comes around to it, someone in our era will get that recognition if they need it. So it's really important, you know, it's something I took on 2 years ago, and I didn't realise how much it would grab hold of me actually, and it's very rewarding and very humbling actually when you get there and 200 people in a room celebrating Lenny, and it was quite right that we did that. So it was a fantastic night.
It certainly was indeed, and look, it is unbelievable the job that Lenny did, really, wasn't it, back in the day? You spoke very well about it, to be fair.
Yeah, you just can't imagine it happening again. You know, a club leaving their ground and going to play another team stadium, not made that welcome, by the way. And, you know, and the fans were so disillusioned. We were playing in front of 3,000 people, 4,000 people at Selhurst Park. And to win promotion into the Premier League was quite incredible. And Lenny, you know, he was level-headed throughout it, Lenny, in terms of the way he managed, and, you know, he brought some good players in. And, you know, a lot of them was there on the night. Yeah, very underrated what Lenny done. And as I say, never to be repeated again, I don't think.
And Gav, I want to just touch on with you as well, because establishing the Ex-Players Association was something that you really felt was important. I know Liz will give him most of the credit, but Brandy's done okay as well as the two chairmen of it. But how proud are you of that events like this have gone so successfully?
Yeah, no, look, they've done a great job. You know, there are a lot of people behind the scenes that make it work, but you know, if it weren't for Liz and Brownie, it wouldn't be as successful as it has been. It is something that we talked about in terms of, you know, community driven means so much, but the ex-players are a massive part of that community. And as you can see, you know, it starts to thread throughout the club. You know, so now talent ID is being driven, you know, in part by the ex-players. And, you know, I am immensely proud. You know, it's great to meet these people, you know, from my perspective as a fan. But I think, I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, how much have we raised now?
Depends on the VAT situation, but yeah, 35, but it could be 50.
Yeah.
You know, surrounding the VAT, because we're not quite sure how that sits, and we've put it by, but we may have a case of being able to claim it back.
And also just explain what it's for, because it is a great cause.
So it was born out of a conversation I had with Gav when he joined the club. I was struggling with my knee replacements, and he approached me about the ex-players, and I said, well, I tell you what, if we're going to do it, why don't I try and create a fund for ex-players that have fallen on hard times, that are vulnerable, need help. And so it was born out of that, and it's just that was the seed really that started the whole thing. And I've never once said we're going to get to an amount quickly. It's a slow burning thing, but we are getting to a point now that if we just keep plugging away at the events, and hopefully at some point Kev will arrange a match for us and raise some funds to kick in. But if we can just keep building, eventually, I mean, there's a lot of work being done because there's a lot of legals behind it as well. So there's a lot of work done before we can actually put the fund out there for people to access. There's a lot of legals that have to be put in place, and we're in the process of doing that. And it's not, as you can imagine, that is not a quick thing. It's a slow thing. It takes months and months and months to go backwards and forwards. But once that's in place, then we should start being able to release some funds to people that are vulnerable, that do need our help.
But the thing is as well, Scott, you know, the fans turn up now and see this amazing stadium and everything else. But so much has gone into it, and Lenny was a major part of that, but so much has gone into getting us here and then eventually where we are at the moment. So, yeah, the ex-players, when they come back, they love it, they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you can just see when they walk in, their faces, it's brilliant, you know, seeing some of them ex-players come back.
I felt like an apprentice again. And that was a long time ago.
Someone give them their boots for you to clean.
Yeah. No, Mark Reed wasn't there. He was my pro.
It was a shame. That was my biggest miss of the night. Actually,
yeah.
I really wanted to be there. Yeah.
But listen,
really
we're just minutes away from the under 18 playoff final as well. But I want to talk about the women's side as well. On the 23rd of May, we host Leicester City in the playoff presented by Mercedes-Benz. Huge game. Just tell us how important it is, Charlotte.
They don't get much bigger. So in the end, Karen Hills' side, after an incredible season, finished third in the WSL2. That means they now take part in a playoff game, winner takes all, against the bottom side of the WSL1, which is Leicester City. We host the match here. We're on course for a record-breaking attendance in our club history, not in X amount of decades, club history. And if we win, we're in the WSL1 next season.
And we've had special moments because we are just minutes away now of our goal of the season, or what we've talked about, and we've kind of been in agreement there. But what's yours, goal of the season?
Goal of the season? I think it's
Should we give you a clue?
Oh, go on.
We've got it.
Okay.
You have told us.
Oh, I was asking my moment of the season. Right, okay, fine. Sorry, go for it.
Go on. Moment, goal?
Moment of the season. I loved this because last minute limbs, Valley under the lights, just was buzzing all week after that. And I just thought it was a wonderful moment. Sorry, absolutely cross wires there, but no, that was one of my moments.
And you really felt, as you say, under the lights here at the Valley, loads of fans, with the average of over 20,000.
What I love about this season is there's just been like sort of touch points where all of the hard work and everything we've been building from just kind of reminisce, and you can see like the building blocks in the Championship, which I've said to anyone that will listen to me, I think it's the hardest division in the EFL, and that just felt like a really hard-fought win, and in the end it was a massive three points that helped.
It certainly was. So Curbs, looking ahead now to next season,
yeah.
What's the aim?
Well, to be competitive. I think, as Gavin said about the stadium, when it's full, it's such a different proposition for the opposition when they come in.
You've talked so much about the home form and making it a fortress.
And the atmosphere, yeah. And I think, once again, we can't get too far ahead, but I think making sure we're comfortable will be for me. Mid-table, even a little bit better than that, because then that brings stability, and when you're looking at players to bring in, they look at what's happened over the last couple of years. One promotion, stayed up, comfortable. That attracts players, you know. So
London,
we've got to make ourselves more attractive, because I think the longer we go, you know, we want to punch a little bit more, and for that to happen, you've got to be consistent in the Championship.
Brownie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, with the extended to 8, I think if you did have an exceptional summer and transfer window and everybody gelled and we hit the ground running, you would love to think there was an opportunity to grab that 8th spot. That may be a jump too far because it is about slow progression for me. You know, staying in the league was the most important thing. I think if you got to next year and there was tangible evidence that you'd improved the squad across all departments and you'd made a jump up in positions, maybe 4 or 5 positions, I think that would be seen as success. And I think Nathan's even said it. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder with 5 games to go. I want to be looking above with 5 games to go. And I think that would be where he wants to be.
Charlotte, go on, I'll go to you. I'll finish on Gav on this.
I just think for me, seeing the progress of the Valley being a fortress and everything off the pitch as well, just, I guess, being the best in class in as much as we can. And I think we're beginning to feel that way. I think the point that Kerr's made about the Valley, like, you just feel here, it will always get us over the line. And I loved Hull as much as I did that semi-final second leg playoff. It gets us over the line, and hopefully it will tonight.
Absolutely, and as we see the youngsters come out ahead of this PDL playoff final against Wigan Athletic. Gav, you touched on it. Next season, if you finish 8th, you're in the playoffs.
Yep. Why not? I mean, I'm not promising that. That's not the target as terms of like, if we don't do that, then we've failed, because I think progress is the most important thing. But why not? Look, if we get off to a strong start like we did this year, anything's possible. It's a competitive league. It was very tight.
Premier League too.
Yeah, but, you know, we're part of that as well. We were Premier League. So, you know, why not? It'll be a fun journey.
Why not aim for that and then reach for the stars, and who knows where we'll end up for sure. Good luck with the summer recruitment. Well done on this year, but also with the Ex-Players Association as well. Before we hand over, I just want to say, listen, it's been a season of ups and downs. We've absolutely loved it. I think I'm speaking on behalf of all of us here at Charlton TV. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the other side, and let's get to the legend that is Terry Smith.
Well, thank you, Scott, and welcome everybody to the Valley for this Under-18 Professional Development League final. The Addicts take on Wigan Athletic for the honours of being the national champions. Something that Charlton have experienced 3 times before. Wigan just the once. And I didn't particularly want to say this, but the one time that Wigan have won it was in 2021 when they won 2-0. Yes, here at the Valley. So it's something that I don't know whether Jason Pearce will have paid any notice to that whatsoever, but if he has, then maybe some retribution is at stake here at the Valley as well to try and get that 4th title. And the last title that Charlton won was back in 2017-18, having won it in 14-15 and 15-16. But Charlton have appeared as division winners 5 times since the league's inception in 2012 and 13. And they've been runners-up 4 times, so outstanding performance from the under-18s generally, and continued by Jason Pearce and his team, Chris Solly, of course. And the Addicts, who in their semi-final managed to get past Hull City 4-1, having gone a goal behind early on. Wigan, on their part, beat Millwall 1-0 to make this final the one that... well, it's the 2 top teams in both divisions. Charlton finishing top of the pile in the south on 63 points after 28 games. Wigan Athletic after 28 games on 58 points. Both top of their groups, and so it's only fitting and right that both sides now appear in this final. Charlton, slight change to the team that took on Hull City, with Finley Woodham dropping to the bench and Logan Williams coming in between the sticks, and also coming in Taku Mavuti and Deontay Davis dropping to the bench. Those are the 2 Charlton changes. Wigan Athletic have also made changes to the side that beat Millwall. Connor Spellman coming in to replace his brother, actually, and Liam Edwards coming in with Charlie Wesseldon replacing him on the bench. So the 2 sides, Wigan Athletic, of course, as they're top of the group, you know, they have quality. Their leading goal scorer, and also the leading goal scorer of the league on 21 goals, is Dan Gelhardt. Dan Gelhardt, brother of Joe Gelhardt, of course, who has starred in this division and for Leeds as well in the past. So Dan Gelhardt on 21 goals. Charlton have goal scorers of their own, of course. with Ellis McMillan currently topping our pile with 12. But it's worth bearing in mind that the Charlton bench with Podgorny and Petikin have 15 goals between them. I'll read you out the sides quickly before we kick off, and starting with Wigan Athletic. Number 1, Rowan Taylor. 2, Zach Edwards. 3, Erdis Recchi. 4, Connor Spellman. 5, Lucas Hagan. 6, Henry Miller. 7, Liam Edwards. 8, Joe Gilbertson. 9, Charlie Hughes. 10, and the captain, John Paul Kavanagh. And 11, Dan Gelhart. Your Charlton side in goal number 1, Logan Williams. 2, Phoenix Valentine. 3, Chetam Ezenwata. 4, Edward Thomas. 5, Taku Mavuti. 6, and the captain, Tate Elliott. 7, Raynon Richmond. 8, Samuel Washington Amoa. 9, Shirley Burnham. 10, Ellis McMillan. And 11, Bradley Tago. I'll run you through the subs as we get the game underway. And it will be Charlton to kick off, attacking the Jimmy Seed stand in the first half. And certainly, if you were able to either be here or watch the game against Hull City, you'll know that there are some exciting young players appearing in red and white this evening. Your referee for this afternoon is Harry Phillips. Apologies as well, by the way. I have a slight cold, so if you do hear the odd sniffle, my sincere apologies. I'll try and keep it down to a minimum. But it is Charlton who get us underway. Back to Thomas. I said everybody prefers Ed, of course. Back to Ezenwata, who was closed down quickly by Charlie Hughes for Wigan. The Addicts will have an early throw. It's a crunching stop, which I think Hughes might have felt more than Ezenwata. The Charlton throw on the right-hand side. Ezenwata with it, goes down the line. Back towards the Charlton penalty area. Miscommunication potential there with Elliott and Ezenwata. Results in now a Wigan Athletic throw. Well, I think it's, I've got Recchi down here. It might be Recchi, but I'll try and update that. But I'll go with Recchi because I don't know any different at this point. Throw comes in. Recchi gets it back, tries to cross in, and sliding challenge, which may result in the first corner of the afternoon. Oh, it's adjudged to have been a goal kick. Phoenix Valentine with a crunching challenge. It's adjudged to have come off the Wigan man last Charlton goal kick, with Logan Williams replacing Finley Woodham for this particular match. Got rewarded with the save of the season against Millwall, which in itself, even if I haven't, I'm trying to remember the save and I can't off the top of my head, but because it's against Millwall, it deserves winning anyway, doesn't it? I'll get cleared away. Picked up by, on the left-hand side by Tago, trying to set up an attack down this left-hand side for Washington Amoa. Charlton throw, quickly taken by Mavuti, into gets it back, Mavuti off of Thomas, trying to send it through to Richmond, didn't quite make its mark. Wigan escort it back to their keeper Taylor, under a bit of pressure sends it clear, and there's a Marta tried to get there. I don't think he made contact. Let's see if the referee concurs, and he does. Charlton throw. Doesn't matter, back to Elliott. Back and inside to Williams. Sends it clear, so up to McMillan. That's a lovely ball to the right-hand side by McMillan. Through the middle, looking for the run of Burnham, but just had a little too much on it. Phoenix Valentine with a challenge to stop Wigan progressing down their left-hand side. Charlton certainly have goals in their armour, and Wigan will be certainly aware of that. But I mean, Wigan, for their part, the last before that Millwall semi-final, had won their last 3 games by scoring 4 goals. So both sides capable of finding the net. Richmond, a score of a superb solo goal in the semi-final. It's challenged, but Charlton have it with Valentine on the right-hand side. Looking to take his man on, just checking. Maybe needs some support here, but and then gets fouled as he does well to drift in and then go back outside. And it was Gilbertson who upended Valentine. It'll be a Charlton free kick, and they will look like they will send Ezenwata, Mavuti And Elliott all forward. Just looking here, and actually Mavuti's just hanging back slightly. The only player up and around the centre circle as the free kick's taken quickly. Richmond trying to drag it across the penalty area. It's now Washington Amoa. On the left is Thomas. And they swing this ball in, it's blocked away. Get it back though. Washington Amoa again. Inside to Tago. Thomas now for Charlton. Backing inside. It's like miscontrol from Mavuti, and it will end up being a Wigan throw, which they need to take quickly. And that looked like it might have been a handball there. We can have it. Gilbertson backing inside to Edwards. Now Gelhardt trying to release Edwards again down the right hand side, and he'll get there. Cross comes in, cleared away. Mavuti just coming away from that, just feeling his the back of his calf. That was in the challenge. Wigan throw. It's a miscontrol from Kavanagh. Charlton will have a throw in. Tago the target, but it won't find him. Little touch from McMillan. And it runs to Gelhardt, who turns one way and then the other. Thomas with the final challenge, but Charlton get it away. Tago does well to shield the ball, and then he can set himself down the line. No, he can't. Intercepted, and now it's back out on the right-hand side with Hughes. Ball into the middle, looking for Gelhardt's important challenge and sliding tackle by Elliott. We can still have it on this right-hand side. It's back with Edwards. To the right-hand side is Hughes. Hughes with Edwards still there in support if he needs him. He goes on his own. Edwards, that's well blocked off and recovered by Bradley Tago, and he's fouled as he tries to get past his man. Super work from Tago. Wigan showing first signs really in the opening 6 minutes of just how dangerous they are. Superb sliding interception from Charlton's captain. Williams out of his penalty area to take this. Sends it forward. McMillan going to try and get there, but he's just beaten to it. But it might run to Valentine. No, it doesn't. But Elliott steps in from the attempted through ball. Wigan do have it though. Ball down to the right-hand side in Kavanagh. Kavanagh trying to get the ball into the box. Well blocked. Still Kavanagh has it though. Back out to Edwards. And to his right-hand side now is Hagan. Edwards back in support. Looks to swing it into the penalty area. This should be comfortable. Would have been comfortable had it been under the bar for Williams, but it sails over into the cupboard end. Charlton have a goal kick, and with 7 minutes of this first half gone, still goalless here at the Valley. Last meeting this season, Charlton and Wigan ended in a 1-1 draw at Sparrows Lane. Solloza with a goal for Charlton, and Hughes with a last-minute penalty. Charlie Hughes stopped Charlton getting all 3 points. Elliott's goal kick. Looking for Burnham, it's not going to reach him. Or it does actually, I didn't think it would, but it does, and holds the ball up well. Out to the right-hand side is Valentine. Valentine trying to release Burnham again, but it's cut out. Charlton do well to win it back. Mavuti with the foot in. Woodham with the clearance, and that will be picked up by Tago. Can he go on a run? Tago, he does. That's super work from Bradley Tago on the left-hand side into the penalty edge of the penalty area, and I slipped at the vital moment. That's unfortunate. Williams' goal kick did well to set Charlton going. Tago did superbly well on this left-hand side, but right at the last minute, just as he was about to swing the cross in, slips, and it's a goal kick. Good work from Richmond. Stops the attempted ball forward. We can have the throw. It's back with Spellman. It's all the way through. And Charlton have it back with Tago behind him in support. There's Nwata back out to Tago. Good run down the line from McMillan, but Tago just keeps hold of it and then goes on a run of his own. Super work from Bradley Tago. Can he? I was just going to say, can he keep his feet this time? He did, but sheer weight of numbers from Wigan stops him from getting any further forward. Wigan have it back on their left-hand side. Ricky, ball forward, cut out by Elliott. It's going to drop kindly for Burnham. Can he get it under control? Does so. Thomas then guides it back to Elliott, who thought he might have waited too long for that, but in the end he timed it superbly. Williams for Charlton to his left. There's Nwata down the line for Tago. And holds it up well. Trying to reverse it across, but the angle would have been tight. Charlton get the throw anyway. Washington Amoa was his target. Chetham has Nwata with the throw. Goes back to Elliott. It's going to be under pressure here from Hughes. Looking inside to Williams. Lifts it across towards Valentine. Can he get the flick on? He does. Not enough on it, I don't think, no. I'll get to the second ball. Williams and Mavuti there. Mavuti with the final challenge. Gets the ball away. Gelhard, the Wigan man in close proximity. Wigan throw. So touch backwards, and that's super work from Richmond to try and step in, and he's got the throw in as well. Excellent from Rain and Richmond. Comes in, it's Richmond again. It's back to ball just beat Mavuti. Trying to keep it in, not quite there. Be a throw in to Wigan. Recchi with a throw for Wigan, gets it back. Further back to Spellman. Spellman again. Under pressure, gets it out to Recchi. Rickman again putting him under pressure. Oh, just a little bit too much on this occasion. Recchi not entirely happy with Connor Spellman, that he gave him a bit of a hospital pass back. Richmond thought he'd managed to dispossess the Wigan man, but free kick given. Now we're going to have it on their right-hand side. Edwards looks down the line. Held up by Hughes. Fouled, according to the official, on the right-hand side. Elliott, adjudged to have been a little bit too eager. And this is, of course, a very dangerous position for Wigan Athletic. Kavanagh over the ball currently. Move away now. Well, so I thought Kavanagh was moving away. Doesn't look like he's going to take the kick now. Indeed he does. Swung in. Deep one. Had it clear and well by Nwata. We can have it with Recchi. Crossing to the centre and Hagan. Now Edwards. Just held up by McMillan. Switches play. Recchi once more on the left. Attempted the cross because Gelhard was the deepest man for Wigan. I think that might have been the aim, but got it horribly wrong and away for a goal kick. And with 13 minutes gone, still goalless here at the Valley in this National League final. Decent crowd across in the West End. Williams leaves it for Elliott. Sends it long. Valentine, the target, gets something on it, but he can't keep it in. Wigan throw taken quickly, back with Spellman. It's good pressure from Thomas to force Miller back. On the right hand side, Tago in the way. McMillan, a good ball inside to Washington and Murray's got Valentine away to the right hand side. He's just told him short, telegraphed it a little bit. And Recchi will come forward, but again the pass out left Hughes too much to do, but he's gathered it in. Hughes on the left, back to Recchi again. This time the ball in, cleared away by Thomas. Edwards for Wigan on the right, swung into the box, dangerous cross. Elliott with the header away. He's had to concede the corner. And after a bright opening start for Charlton, Wigan certainly have come back into it. Corner on the Wigan right to be taken by Gilbertson. Sends it in to the near post. Hart couldn't get any meaningful contact. Cleared away, but not convincingly. Gilbertson has it again. Might take a shot here. Does so, but can't fall on for Williams in the end. Throws it out quickly, and Raynham wasn't expecting it. Doing in Richmond, and Wigan have it back in an attempt from Gelhardt to curl it into the top corner. There's too much on it, and Williams saying to the referee he was attempting to throw it out. It was held back, and the referee's acknowledging it, but whether or not he would have pulled the game, well, he didn't clearly. Whether he would have done anything about it, had that ball gone straight to a Wigan man, I don't know. And concerned for Charlton at the minute, because man down, I think that might be Mavutu. Took that knock on the calf earlier on. And as a result has gone down. Whether it's the same injury remains to be seen, but Mavuti down, and so we just have a break in play. If you weren't here for the semi-final, the 4-1 victory, goals from Washington and Moore, a goal that the Hull City keeper won't want to watch back too often. It went straight through him, and but then Richmond with a fine solo goal put Charlton 2-1 up. Podgorny coming off the bench added a third, and Petikin from the penalty spot made it 4. And as I said in the intro, Charlton subs: Finley Woodham, Jonte Davis, Jack Belton, Casper Podgorny and Coyote Petikin, and the latter two there, Podgorny and Petikin, have 15 goals between them. Petikin with 9. Fair few from the penalty spot in truth, but even so. Wigan Athletic subs, by the way, are Lucas Tobin, Ojo Ejugwu Adaji, and Liam Flight. Charlie Wesseldine is the final Wigan sub. Mavuti still down here. Concern for Charlton early on. Mavuti, who didn't make the semi-final, stayed on the bench. Don't know if there was any prior concerns to his fitness or not. But Deontay Davis is a natural replacement for him. Having said that, Charlton playing with that back three. Deontay Davis a natural left back, so it may mean a change in formation for Charlton if Mavuti can't carry on. There is some concern. He's still down, so you can imagine looking at the bench that have to be Davis with a slight shuffle of Jason Pearce's back line. Would mean probably mean Davis coming out to the, because he's naturally left-sided, so coming out to the left back slot. A midfield two, central two of Davis, Elliott and Ezenwata, and then Phoenix Valentine going to the right back slot. But Mavuti's up, so maybe that all that nonsense I've just spoken won't be necessary. Starting with the goal kick. Elliott sends it forward up towards Burnham. Can't get there, but it might drop Richmond's way. No, Burnham's still looking for it. Gets a lovely touch. Burnham, and he's away on the right-hand side. Looking to go past his man. Burnham still into the penalty area. Back to Richmond. Richmond with Thomas in support. Back to Ezenwata. Thomas again. Good ball out to Washington Amo. He's got Tago on the outside. Tago on the left. Looking to take his man on. Does so. Tago, ball into the box. Cleared away. Oh, a little run to McMillan though. Trying to turn. McMillan, can he set up? Valentine, no, comes back out to Thomas now. Valentine, little back flick to Thomas. Into the penalty area, Thomas. Trying to get a shot away, but he's crowded out. It's a good move from Charlton, but didn't manage to fashion a real chance afterwards. Good work from Mavuti. Oh, and there's a late one coming in there on the back of his legs, but Charlton have the throw. Just a little sideways glance from Mavuti on towards Dan Gelhart after that challenge. Throw goes backwards to Elliott. Williams looking for options. Trying to pick out Burnham. He's going to go beyond him though. The header though from Richie goes straight out of play. Valentine, little touch back to Mavuti down the line, looking for Richmond. Doesn't too much on it, so cleared away. Elliott gets there first before Gelhart concedes the throw. 20 minutes gone in this National League final. Still all square. Ricky gets it back, but miscontrol. Richmond just shoves him out of the way. Charlton throw, Mavuti with it. Infield to Richmond, lets the ball run and then treads on it. So Washington Amo picks it up out to Valentine. Ball inside to Burnham. Back now to Washington Amo. He jinks past his man, and again, still Washington Amo inside to Burnham. Back to Valentine. Some good football from Charlton. Can they create something after this though? Elliott going to switch it across to Tago. Good header from Tago into McMillan, trying to turn. Ball just wouldn't sit for him, but he's still battling away there. Back to Washington Amo. Tago trying to turn his man, but on this occasion, Wigan man too strong, clears it away. Thomas can't get his foot there, and Gelhart takes over. Wigan trying to break through the middle. That's well read by Ezenwata. Long run now, Ezenwata still there. Tago behind him. Inside is Thomas. Washington Amo trying to turn. Does so superbly, Washington Amo. And then a sliding challenge coming in from Hagen. Charlton have a throw. Pattern is very similar to the first half against Hull City. Charlton with some lovely football, lovely footwork from individual players. Chances created in that first half were minimal. They really came into their own in the second half. Wigan throw. A challenge from Thomas, but Wigan still have it. But Thomas stayed there and kept at it and won the ball back. Now McMillan out to Valentine. Valentine on the right-hand side. Richmond running down the channel, but Valentine still with it. Inside to Richmond. Trying to turn away from his man, Hagen, but couldn't do so. Now Ricky will bring it forward for Wigan. Richmond turns all the way back, and he felt he won the ball. Referee thought otherwise. Well, certainly didn't think he won it cleanly. Much to the ire of most of the supporters in the West End, and certainly Richmond himself. Contest it to the official, but as he grows up, he'll know that as he gets older, he'll know that that's a forlorn exercise. Might not stop him, mind. But Charlton have to defend this free kick. Gilbertson with it. Sent into the penalty area, and easy claim for Williams. Rolls it out to Ezenwata. Goes back to Williams. Macmillan wanted it to his feet, but doesn't matter, thought better. Safer option back to the keeper. Now looking for Richmond with the out ball. Ricky gets there first. Claims it came off Richmond last. Officials disagree. Almost impossible to tell from this distance and angle. Mavuti with the throw. I think he was looking for Valentine. It's gone beyond everybody. Take a little leg to react, and so Wigan still have it, but the ball through the middle is cut out by Ezenwata. Now Tago can collect it out to Washington Amoa. A little run, Washington Amoa cuts inside, still there. Washington Amoa still there. Thomas switching it across to Valentine. Out on the right hand side is Richmond again. Richmond taking on Recchi. Cuts inside. Ball, lovely ball into the box. Macmillan will finish, and that's a lovely goal for Charlton, who opened the scoring in this national final. And I said before that in the semi-final, Charlton played some lovely football, some great footwork from every individual player without creating a chance. Well, on 24 minutes in this particular final, they've done exactly that. And Macmillan finishes. And that's his 13th goal of the campaign. And Charlton take the lead. And worthy of it, you have to say. Played some lovely football in the opening 25 minutes without really creating a great deal, but the first time they release a player into the penalty box in the shape of Ellis Macmillan, chances dispatched. Can Charlton build on that now? Wigan will restart. Send it down there left. Valentine will jump. Just leave it out of the way by Hughes, but Valentine does really well. Out to Richmond. Cuts inside. Mavuti behind. Thought about taking a risky crossfield pass, then decided safer. Back to Elliott. Now Ezenwata. Macmillan trying to keep the ball in. Looking above that, and that was a tight call from the assistant. And it's given as a throw to Wigan Athletic, just inside the Charlton half. Heavy toe, a little kick out from Kavanagh. Thomas just kept him under watch and forced him into the heavy touch. Charlton throw. Elliott turns away from Kavanagh. Into the feet of Washington Amoa. Valentine wants it, but he's across to Mavuti now. Valentine is available on the right-hand side. Space to move into if he wants. Cuts inside. Valentine has got Macmillan in the centre. That's great footwork from Washington Amoa to give it to Macmillan. Back to Mavuti on the right. Elliott, Charlton just being forced backwards this time. Williams, Charlton taking his time, and Washington Amoa, I don't know if he knew that was coming, but gets away with it. And Charlton do well to retain possession at this point at least, but now they have lost out. Doesn't matter. Trying to find Washington Amoa, didn't do so. Now Gelhardt back inside to the penalty area, crossfield ball, and Hughes not far away from that Gilbertson cross. And Charlton, having opened the scoring, played a little dangerously in that back left corner. Get away with it. Richmond. Oh, it's lovely football from Richmond, and he's dragged back. And you'd expect this to be the first yellow card of the evening, and it is. Excellent work from Richmond. We have our first yellow card, and it's not entirely surprised. Lucas Hagan is the man who gets it. Dragging back Richmond. And with the ability Charlton have in their ranks, this could be a long night for Mr. Hagan. As Elliott switches it across towards Tago. God, great. Oh, I was going to say great control, but it was just a bit too much on the touch. And now Gelhardt has it for Wigan. Back to Recchi, but he's forced him backwards. Uses keeper with Burnham pressuring. Out ball met by Elliott. Gets it away for a throw. Gilbertson with it. Looks to go long, looking for Hughes. Elliott there again. And Mavuti goes back to his captain. Inside to Williams. Here's Nwata coming wide. Should leave space through the middle. Good pick out from Williams to find Valentine. Thomas runs ahead, but Valentine cuts inside. Elliott available. Releases Valentine again. Now there's Nwata with Washington Amoa ahead of him. Instead goes back inside to Williams. Mavuti on the right. Ahead of him is Richmond. Back to Elliott. Looks to release Richmond again. He's pointed in the direction he wanted Richmond to go. I'm not sure Richmond entirely expected it to get there. Charlton still have it. Valentine across to Washington Amoa. Tago wants it on the left. Goes via Nwata first. Now sending McMillan down the left-hand channel. Ellis McMillan, goal scorer this evening. 1-2 with Washington Amoa. Good ball retention from Charlton. Have to recycle it now. Back to Elliott. Again, Mavuti available on the right. Richmond coming short. Cuts inside Richmond. It's good footwork again from Rain and Richmond. Out to the right-hand side is Valentine. Charlton with bodies in the box. Ball cuts across the penalty area. Tago with the strike. Straight to the keeper's legs. He gets enough on it to clear it away, and Wigan do likewise up towards Hughes. Hughes out to Gelhardt. Blocked off by Tago. Elliott quite happy to just walk backwards with the ball. Pick out Williams, but Charlton going very close to getting number 2. Super work from Richmond and Valentine. Tago just couldn't convert the drag back cross. Elliott bringing it forward for Charlton. Tago to his left. Inside is Washington Amoa. Good footwork and good body work from Washington Amoa. Now Thomas goes right to Valentine. Washington Amoa keeps his run going. Out to the right hand side is Richmond. Richmond taking on Recchi. Goes past him. Richmond into the penalty area. Gets it back looking for McMillan, and it's cleared away. Thomas, though, will pick it up for Charlton. Out to Tago. Tago goes past his man. Gets a toe on it, so just halts Tago's progress, but he still has it. Tago trying to get the shot away, cleared entirely convincingly. Thomas with the challenge, though. Doesn't stop Wigan trying to bring it forward. And they do so well. It's good work from Hughes. But, outstanding work. Oh, I'm quite sure what that foul was for. Thomas just kept hustling on Hughes. Whether there was a shirt pull that I couldn't see from up here, but referee close by gives the free kick. Personally, I think that might have been a tad generous. Charlton threatening again. Wigan survive, and they have this free kick. Edwards. Goes back to his namesake, Zach Edwards. That's good foot in from Tago, prevents Liam Edwards going down the line. Edwards having to throw all the way back to Spellman. Good run from Burnham to put the keeper under pressure, clears it away. As Nwata heads it forward, McMillan will try and flick it on. He might get the second attempt and does. Washington Amoa can't get there though. Edwards will clear it away, only as far as Tago. Washington Amoa. McMillan trying to turn, doesn't quite come off. And a late one from Tago, but Wigan have it, so referee plays on through the middle. Kavanagh. Oh, Thomas does superbly well to win it back for Charlton. He's looking for options. Burnham ahead of him. Burnham pretty isolated at the moment, but still has it. Burnham. Kavanagh trying to make it back. Burnham did well to hold that ball up because he had no support whatsoever at that point. Charlton just recycled back to Elliott. Into the feet of Valentine. Out to Richmond. Valentine going for the return. Richmond cuts inside. Thomas. Elliott. Mavuti to his right. Mavuti. Ball up to Richmond. Outside of him is Valentine, but he just got caught in possession, but does well to track back and win it back for Charlton. Hughes trying to pull back Mavuti, but he wasn't in possession of the ball, so it didn't really matter. Thomas finds Elliott. 34 minutes gone of this first half. The Addicts a goal to the good. McMillan with it. Elliott wanted a short option, nothing available, so he's gone long. Looking for Valentine, headed away by Ricky. Charlton throw 10 yards inside the Wigan half on the right. Mavuti comes forward. Seems to have recovered from that injury picked up earlier on. Richmond trying to go back to Thomas. It's intercepted. Mavuti again. Throws it infield, looking for Richmond, but Burnham will pick it up for Charlton. Gets it across, but Washington and Moore just dragged back Gelhart, trying to get to the ball. Not quite sure why that's a yellow, but it is. Washington and Moore gets a yellow card for. I think what the referee was saying is second illegal challenge. Edwards sends it forward. Cleared away by Mavuti, but Kavanagh will pick it up for Wigan. Inside to Miller. Valentine with a robust challenge, gets the ball back off Miller and away for a goal kick. Coming up to 36 minutes gone if you are just joining us. So with the goal lead given to them by Ellis McMillan on 25 minutes after some superb football from the Addicts. Williams goal kick, aiming for Burnham. Good control from Burnham, gets it out to Tago. On this left-hand side, Tago looking to go past his man, does so. Got another one in front of him, holds the ball up and goes past him once and then comes back again. He's got Washington and Moore in support. Inside is Richmond. Now Thomas for Charlton. Mavuti to his right, Valentine further right. Just goes the other way to Elliott. Mavuti once more. Looking for an option. Elliott provides it. Now Thomas. That's a good ball to Elliott again. Time to turn, instead gives it back to Thomas, and now Washington and Moore. Tago outside. Still Bradley Tago, cutting across. Elliott for Charlton. Mavuti. Keeping possession well. Richmond for on this right-hand side. His heels clipped. Still has it though, Richmond. Still good football from Charlton. Thomas, Elliott, Mavuti to his right. Thomas there available again now. There's Nwata. Now to Washington and Moore. Lovely interplay up to McMillan and the ball back. Just bypassed Tago, but it's Washington and Moore trying to send McMillan on his way through the middle. McMillan, can he pick it up? No, just beaten to it by Edwards. And then McMillan judged to have fouled the Wigan number 2. But just a period there of superb controlled football from Charlton. Back to front, and then almost sending McMillan away. Remains 1-0. 38 minutes gone. Goal kick comes away looking for Gelhart. There's too much on that. And Wigan had a brief 10-minute period in this first half, early on in this first half, but haven't really got to grips with Charlton's possession football at this point. Tago turns as the ball bounces over him and Edwards, but across comes Miller to intercept, back to his keeper. Again, I think down the left-hand side. Gelhardt's a target, and it'll find him inadvertently, but it gets there. And touch back to Hagen. Across to the left-hand side and Reckitt. Back and inside. Spellman. Across to Edwards. He's got the other Edwards out to the right-hand side. There's Edwards here. Can take on Tago. Tago trying to force him out and does superbly well. Edwards just trying to give Tago a taste of his own medicine. It didn't work. Charlton have a goal kick. Wigan Athletic just have the 4 subs. I don't think they have a goalkeeper as an option. Looking at the list. Gaddafi is a midfield player, as is Flight and Wresseldine, so they've got to hope their goalkeeper stays fit as Charlton. Thomas out to Tago. They all try to take it around this time. Edwards stops him into Gelhardt. Thomas for company, gets it to Edwards. Down the line, looking for Gelhardt. Didn't think he was going to get there. And across comes Ezenwata. Goes it back to Williams. Drill through the middle. Can Richmond get there? No. But, Thomas. Little toe in, but it's inadvertently touched to Hagen. It's coming forward now. Gelhardt on the right. Gelhardt back onto his left. Tees up Hagen. Now back into the shot of Gilbertson. Superbly closed down. And Charlton defend it, but Wigan have it back. Outstanding defending. First real danger sign for Wigan Athletic for about 30 minutes or so. And they're back in possession again. Hagen trying to release Kavanagh down the right. Kavanagh swings the ball in, cleared away. But for a corner, will it? No, it's just a throw in this right-hand corner. Quickly taken, back to Edwards. Now Kavanagh. Time to cross it, and skies off the boot of, let's see who that was actually. It looks like it might have been Ezenwata, it was. We're going to have a corner. Hughes for Wigan on the floor. Picks himself up. And we're going to have an opportunity in the last few minutes of this first half. Gilbertson, whose shot was blocked away moments ago, with the corner. Swings it in. Williams comes, gets his head. Elliott gets there first. And then Mavuti trying to get there. It's blocked before he can take it away by Spellman. Charlton have a goal kick. Plenty of shouts from all players for challenges in the box. Referee ignores all of them. As I say, his first real threat from Wigan for some while. It needed the block to stop that shot from Gilbertson troubling Williams. Who clears this goal kick away. And beyond Burnham, who's pulled back. Which is ignored. Keeper's clearance straight to Tago. Turns away from Gelhardt. Looking for support. Nothing immediately available, so goes backwards to Ezenwata. Inside of him is Elliott. Mavuti looks for the runner Burnham into the channel. Good strength from Burnham to get there as well. Trying to keep it in, but Edwards gets a toe in. It'll be a Charlton throw though on that right hand side. We've had the Mavuti injury, so there may be a couple of minutes added on as Richmond picks it up on the right. Back to Valentine. That's good footwork from Valentine to Mavuti. Elliott now is going to be under pressure. Turns away from Kavanagh. Mavuti. Back to Williams. Took a bobble that, but fortunately didn't affect the pass out to Ezenwata. Now Washington Amoa lifts it over his man and will go on a run now. Washington Amoa cuts inside. Inside is Valentine in the centre. He's got Richmond to the right. Goes for the shot. Valentine with Richmond with his arms out. Wondering why the pass didn't come his way, but a rush of blood from Phoenix Valentine, who saw the space open up in front of him. And there are very few in here that can blame Phoenix Valentine for taking the shot on, except for Raynham Richmond, of course. As the sun comes out in the valley, which will affect Rowan Taylor's goal kick, well, certainly his run up to it. Gets it away, straight down the middle. There's a mutter with a header. Tago trying to get there, but Edwards gets there first. Washington Mow with a challenge, but the Wigan man rides that. There's a mutter, heads away the attempted pass through, but it's come to Hughes anyway on the right-hand side. Hughes trying to tee up Gelhardt, and Elliott did enough and did well to just usher him out the way. Williams picks it up to Mavuti. Ed Valentine ahead of him, but to his right is Richmond. Valentine still ahead. Thomas inside. Thomas looking for options. Valentine providing it. Couldn't get the first pass, but the second pass finds McMillan. McMillan with Tago out to the left. Tago looking to attack his man. Edwards goes past him. Edwards, Tago almost got past Edwards. He got back at him. 3 minutes of added time, in fact, for the injury to Mavuti, and Charlton have a corner. McMillan coming across to take it. Can the Addicts extend their lead before half-time? Everybody in a blue and white shirt in and around the penalty area as McMillan prepares to take this corner. Deep one. Elliott the target. Elliott will head it back across. As a mutter couldn't get there. Thomas gets his head to it though. Tago looking for it, headed clear. McMillan will pick it up for Charlton. Back to Washington Amoa. Always a little 1-2 attempted, but didn't quite come off. And the Addicts work it back to Williams. Elliott, ball forward up to Richmond. Trying to turn away from his man, Spellman. Gets a foot in, Spellman, but it's good work from Valentine to retrieve possession for Charlton. Elliott back to Williams. Clears it forward. Burnham will look to get on the end of this, but it's been too much long for him. Led away by Spellman, but only as far as Richmond. Oh, it's good work from Richmond. Turns inside his man. Excellent footwork from Richmond. Swings it across to Tago. Tago on the left with Washington Amoa on the overlap. Cuts inside. Still Tago. Into Richmond again. Richmond goes past his man. Still Richmond. Will he get his shot away? No, gets it out to Washington Amoa. Goes past Edwards. Back to Richmond. Lifts it into the box looking for McMillan. Good work from the keeper to come and claim. More excellent football from Charlton in the build up to that move. That should be off from Recchi. Just let the ball run. We've played... well, I'll make it about 4 seconds before the referee blows, so I imagine after this throw. Mavuti to step forward. Oh no, we've still got, beg your pardon, still got a minute. Mavuti will throw down the line, looking for distance on it, cleared away. Elliott, and there's Nwata there, there's Nwata got there, and then Kavanagh swipes it away, but for a Charlton throw. Mavuti with it. Thought about going back to Elliott. Instead goes down the line. Cleared by Spellman. Elliott will come and meet it. Misses it at the first attempt, and Gelhardt buzzing round him. Elliott clears it away, taking no chances. Gets the ball out, but it will be a throw. There we are, seconds away from the end of added time. And, Burnham picks it up from a poor knockback. Burnham attacking Spellman into the penalty area. Burnham, can he get his shot away? He does! Oh, just wide of the post. Excellent work from Shirley Burnham. There's a poor touchback from Miller that sent him on his way. Just couldn't get it inside the far post to double Charlton's lead. So it remains 1-0 at half-time. That goal coming from Ellis McMillan on 25 after some lovely footwork from Charlton, and that's been the story of the game. Some lovely footwork from Charlton. But at the moment, just the one goal. And Charlton had to defend at times, and a superb block stopped Gilbertson from getting his shot away to trouble Williams in the Charlton goal. But other than that, it's been mostly Charlton in this first half, and they go in a goal up and worthy of it. And so, well, on Charlton TV, we'll just leave you for a brief period. Let you get a cup of tea, get your breath back. But if you can do that while watching the highlights, then please do so. And join us again in about 10 minutes or so here at the Valley. WSL, that one kicks off at 12:30 here at the Valley. Get your tickets via booking.casc.co.uk or visiting the ticket office here at the Valley. to the Valley. As both the Addicts and Millwall Ethics, I'm just reading out details of that Wigan Millwall game. Charlton Athletic and Wigan Athletic, of course. Tale of the two athletics. And it's Charlton Athletic who currently lead. Goal in the first half by Alex McMillan on 25 minutes separates the two sides. It'll be Wigan to get us back underway in this second half. We had a couple of moments in that first half, but it was mostly Charlton, certainly in terms of possession. Keeper Taylor having to make a save at his feet outside of the goal from McMillan, and also we had the shot, the late shot from Burnham, just going wide of the post. For Alex, it was a block from the Gilbertson strike. Really the only time the Charlton goal was really threatened in that first half. A couple of half chances other than that, but Charlton, some superb controlled football and possession football. And a goal to the good as the referee gets us back underway. We can go down the left-hand side, cleared away immediately by Isenwater. He's called up again to get his foot in, but he'll concede the throw. Challenge on Hughes. Throw on the Wigan right-hand side. Edwards with it. Touch from Kavanagh, but it'll be read by Tago. Gets it back to Isenwater, who clears it away up towards Burnham. Will get his head to it. McMillan hunting it down. But first there is Spellman. Ball been put all the way back, although needed Taylor to come out of his penalty area to send it away. Looking for Gelhardt. It's a good control from Gelhardt. Trying to turn it himself, but all he does is gives it straight to Richmond. Good footwork again from Richmond, who caused Wigan some serious trouble in that first half. And on this occasion, Kavanagh comes back to take the ball off him. And Wigan will start again on the right-hand side with Edwards. Down the line, but cut out by Tago. Tago trying to send Washington Amoa on his way, but across comes Zach Edwards to clear it away. Doesn't matter for Charlton. Elliott inside him, Charlton captain. Mavuti, Valentine to his right. Thomas wants it inside. Thomas. Touch out to Richmond. Richmond just holds his man off, shields him well. Sends it across towards Tago. Sent him scampering backwards, but he's in possession now. Go on a little run, Bradley Tago. He's capable of that. Just holds it up. Washington Amoa inside to Isenwater. Washington Amoa again. He's got Valentine to his right. Valentine with Richmond. Hugging a touchline on this right-hand side. Just left it a little short and allowed Ricky to come in and take it away, but it will be a Charlton throw. Richmond again. Is it back to Elliott? Washington Amoa inside of him. Turns. McMillan comes short. McMillan's got space to move into as well. Outside of him is Tago. Tago looking to take his man on. Tago on the outside. Just holds the ball up. Washington Amoa behind him. Washington Amoa. Inside of him is Thomas. Little 1-2. Washington Amoa trying to go past Miller. Didn't quite work, but Thomas does superbly well again for Charlton. They have possession back. Tago. One too many, but that one too many was adjudged to have fouled Tago. I think that was Hagen who's already got the yellow card, so he's going to be a little bit careful. The Addicts have a free kick as Washington Amoa goes across to the sideline, maybe for a bit of advice, bit of an idea of what to do from his free kick. Tago currently over it. Message received. I don't think it was anything entirely specific to this free kick. Elliott and Isenwater forward. Swung in and just as well
Hagan didn't get a touch on that. It runs through to Taylor, who collects and then throws it overarm out to Hughes. Well, intercepted by Elliott. Behind him is Valentine. Mavuti, still got Elliott out to his right-hand side, and ahead of him is Valentine. He can turn Valentine. That's a lovely through ball to Burnham into the penalty area. Just took a heavy touch. He's going to hold it up. Burnham. He's got Richmond behind him, and that should be a Charlton corner. Oh, that looked like it had to be a Charlton corner. The assistant got that one wrong, I believe. Wigan on the right-hand side with Edwards. The ball to Gelhardt. He'd come short for it. Inside to Kavanagh. Kavanagh on the run. Pokes the ball forward. It's a lunging stop from Elliott, and Charlton have it back. Washington Amoa with Richmond on to his right. Just a little too long, and Washington Amoa's opportunity to pass to him had gone. So back to Valentine. Now Mavuti. Valentine again to Washington Amoa. Richmond still down the line if he wants him. Cuts inside and then backwards to Mavuti. Inside of him is Thomas. Again, good football. Washington Amoa down the line asking Valentine to go into the channel. This one should be a corner if it goes that far. No, it's good work actually from Spellman to keep it going away from a corner. Charlton quickly taking the throw in. Richmond goes past his man. Ball into the box. Burnham trying to turn. Still Burnham. Can't either turn or tee it up, but he wins it back for Charlton. Back out to the right is Valentine. Richmond ahead of him. Nowhere to go immediately. Trying to turn inside, and he does superbly. Richmond still with it. Richmond into the 6-yard box. Cleared away, but only just. Valentine again. Valentine swings it in. Defended away, but it'll drop to McMillan. Can he turn? He can, and shoots just past the post. Glorious opportunity for Charlton to add a second. And the pressure continues on the Wigan goal. McMillan fighting for it with Hagan. Just gets enough on it. It's now with Edwards. Loses out to McMillan. Touch up to Burnham. Burnham. Ball out to the right-hand side, and Valentine. Valentine looking for options ahead of him. Richmond trying to give it the 1-2, and then interesting to see where that's gone. And it's gone for a goal kick. The assistant down there, I think, was shaping for the corner, but the referee had made his decision ahead of him. Just a hold on here as Hagan going across to the sidelines. Needs some attention. This is just for some fluid. It's got to go off the pitch though to receive that attention. Looks like some sort of damage to his left arm. The Wigan number 5, but he's going to need permission to come back on. That's Taylor's goal kick sent in the direction of the afflicted Hagan. Straight out of play, a Charlton throw. Back to Elliott. Valentine drifts across. Ball out to Mavuti. Find Valentine ahead of him. Valentine cuts inside. Thomas now for Charlton. Out to Richmond. Ball inside is behind Valentine, so we can have it. But ball cut out by McMillan. Well read. Now Thomas. Washington Amoa's got Nwata to his left. Ahead of him is Tago. And past Kavanagh. Still Tago touches it past Edwards, and still Tago. Ball into the box, looking for Burnham. Goes beyond him. It'll drop to Valentine. Can he get his shot away, Valentine? Not at the first attempt, he can't. Drags it back. Now finds McMillan. Can he shoot? He does, but takes a deflection away for a corner. Charlton coming ever closer to that number 2. Excellent work. No, quite didn't have the end product to match it. Valentine wanted to pull the trigger and just didn't seem to have the space or the angle to do so. Teed up McMillan, whose shot was deflected wide. Quickly taken corner. Dago into Richmond. Richmond trying to turn. Does so. Rides the challenge. Still Richmond. Drills it across and it's saved away for a corner. Charlton knocking on the door here. Some intense pressure from the Addicts on this Wigan side. McMillan coming across to take it. Can the Addicts find that second goal? Corner swung in, deep one. Thomas comes and heads it on. Just comes the top of his head, I think. Couldn't direct it goalwards and away for a goal kick. And Wigan can take a breath. They've just coming up to 10 minutes gone in this second half. Still just one goal separates the two sides. Charlton have had a glorious opportunity to make that 2 even 3. As it is. Still just one goal in it. There's Mata will jump, gets his head up in the air. Thomas heads it forward, up towards Burnham. Burnham holding the ball up well, turns his man superbly. Still Burnham. Tackle coming in there. Coming across was the I think it was Spellman. An important interception challenge. Charlton have it back from the clearance. Mavuti out to Valentine. Valentine with Richmond to his right. Valentine continues his run. He's got it on the right hand side. 2 players ahead of him. Goes past both of them. Still Valentine into the penalty area. Valentine back across. Oh, there's that handball. Referee says no. Comes out to Washington Amoa. Can he finish? Headed clear by Spellman. Well, certainly hit the Wigan player's hand. The referee will deem that he couldn't get out of the way and it wasn't in an unnatural position. And I think most people will probably concur with that. It certainly hit his hand, but that particular handball rule is open to so many interpretations, as we see week in, week out. Charlton have the throw on the left, and I think the Addicts are going to wait for Nizenwata to come forward. He's going to launch this in, but that's not the case. Everybody in and around the edge of the penalty area, and it's Tager back to Nizenwata. Now lifted in, but nobody there in a red shirt. Goes straight through to Taylor. Look for a quick roll out, but there's nobody, too many people there in a blue and white shirt either. But there's Ricky. Forced back by Richmond. Spellman on clearance. Mavuti comes to intercept, but gives it straight to Miller. Miller out to the right hand side and Edwards. The other Edwards going on a run outside of him. Flicks it inside, Gelhard. Goes past Thomas, still Gelhard. Let's go back the other way. Edwards in support. Gilbertson. Thought about a cross, not available, so goes back out to Edwards, who now drills it across. Elliott with something on it, chest control. Out to Thomas. Can Charlton break from here? To the left is Washington Amoa, up towards McMillan, cut out by Hager. And to Hughes. We're going to have a man down. I think it's Gilbertson. No, it's not actually. It's Kavanagh on the edge of the area. Limping away. Wigan's still in possession. Kavanagh didn't particularly want it, I don't think, but he's got it. Not sure he can do much with it, but manages to find Hughes, or look for Hughes in the penalty area. Across comes Nizenwata, and now Kavanagh can get some treatment. Certainly in the semi-final, there was a number of players going down with cramp. They wouldn't be used to playing in a surface like this week in, week out, so it does take its toll on young legs. Doesn't do too much for old legs either, to be fair. Kavanagh receives treatment as some of the players take on some fluid. We've had 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes of this second half. Charlton with a couple of glorious opportunities to increase the lead from the one they already have. None taken so far. McMillan with a chance. A couple of chances actually. And Burnham's threatened, as has Washington Amar and Valentine. And Thomas's header. The opportunities are mounting up for the Addicts. Still just one goal in it. Kavanagh continues to receive treatment. There's a couple of stats for you as well, by the way. I mentioned that Gelhardt was top scorer. The longest winning run in the league, North and South, was 7 matches, held by Charlton. And the longest unbeaten run is 14 matches, also held by Charlton. Kavanagh out to the sideline now, so we can take the throw. Spellman comes for it, goes back to the throw, which is Edwards, but couldn't keep it in. It's away for a Charlton goal kick. It was Miller, I beg his pardon. Kavanagh back on, so moving too freely. Williams with a goal kick. Some added minutes at the end of this second half as well. McMillan can't touch it on, so Edwards has it for Wigan, trying to go send Hughes down on the right-hand side. Can he keep it in, Hughes? Yes. Isn't Wata for company, but he gets it back to Miller. Holds it up, finds Edwards. Edwards down the line to Kavanagh. Thought about crossing it. Foot in from Washington Amar, but Wigan still have it. It's good work from Edwards on the sideline, but he runs out of room, having done a little bit of nifty footwork to go past Tago. Run out of room on that right-hand side. It'll be a Charlton throw on the Addicts left. Immediately back to Elliott. Trying to switch it across here to Valentine. Can't get there. Neither can Recchi, so it'll be a Charlton throw. Recchi wanted a foul. Nothing given. See some substitutions being prepared on the Charlton bench, and maybe one on the Wigan. The throw taken to Richmond. Back inside to Thomas. To McMillan, and then Washington Amar out to the left-hand side, and Tago. Tago going to go past his man. Still Tago with it. Two players for company, both Edwards, and he gets past both, trying to get it back to McMillan, but intercepted by Hager. But the ball out to Richmond. Will he take his shot? He does. Deflected into Burnham, whose effort is over the bar for a goal kick. Another glorious opportunity for the Addicts, and another one goes begging. Goal kick to Wigan. Drilled down the middle, flicked on. Mavuti with the headed clearance, but straight to Kavanagh. Inside, but Valentine will do well to retrieve it for Charlton. Down the line to Richmond. Trying to go past his man, but intercepted before he can do so. The Charlton throw. Mavuti, back to Elliott. He's got Williams on the edge of his area if he wants him. Back the other way is Mavuti. Down the line to Richmond. Cuts inside, does well. Now trying to send Burnham on his way over the top. Hagen trying to keep up with him. Just gets enough on it to allow Edwards to clear it away, but more trouble in the heart of that defence for Wigan. And when Charlton are in full flow, Wigan struggle to deal with it. Throw to Charlton, spent halfway inside the Wigan half. Mavuti with it. Wigan are going to make that change. And it's Kavanagh coming off, the Wigan captain. Lucas Tobin is the player coming on. Charlton subs have sat back down momentarily as Mavuti prepares to take this throw into Richmond. Thomas inside. Thomas looking for options. Cross to the left is Washington Amoa. Further left is Tago. Ball in field to Richmond, looking for the 1-2, but didn't quite get the angle of that pass. And Wigan intercept, but Tago does really well to intercept Edwards' attempted pass out, and he's back in possession in the corner. Bradley Tago can he create something here? He's managed to work a throw in. That's pretty much all he could do. Maybe a corner would have been the ultimate achievement. But Charlton have a throw. Again, Tago waiting for. He's waiting for Ezenwata. He didn't particularly want to come. Quickly taken. Washington Amoa back to Tago's. Deep cross. Valentine at the other side of the penalty area, still battling for it, but it's cleared away. Mavuti battling as well in here. Thomas. Back to Mavuti. Go down the line. Little touch to Valentine. Mavuti goes again for it. Mavuti, can he get a cross in? Back to his left foot. Tees up Thomas. He does cross it in beyond Burnham and headed clear up towards Hughes. A take on Ezenwata. Does superbly well. Great strength from the Charlton defender. Ezenwata just ushered Hughes out of the way. And the Addicts have it back. Super strength. Elliott looking to switch it across to Valentine. Can he get there, Phoenix Valentine? It's going to be a foot race, but he just doesn't have enough. There's too much on it, and Elliott puts his hands in the air to apologise. Goal kick to Wigan. Nearly 21 minutes gone, still Charlton with a goal lead. As Wigan look to attack down this right-hand side with Edwards. Ball in looking for Gelhardt, takes a deflection. It's worked kindly for Charlton as Logan Williams collects that deflected cross. As it remains 1-0, there's just that possibility that one chance for the visitors will get them back in this game. Charlton need that second. Burnham couldn't control it. It's a difficult one to do so, and he almost got there, but Wigan get it clear. Gelhardt. Out to Edwards again on that right-hand side. Cuts inside. Still Edwards looking for options. Trying to go past Tago. And Macmillan there as well, but it does well, Edwards, to retain possession. It's now with Miller. Out to Gelhardt. Back to Miller. Well, should have been Miller, but it's gone to Edwards. Brings it forward. Still Edwards. Drills it into the box. That's a good foot in from Ezenwata, but it's Edwards again. Lifts the ball deep into the cross, and well, Recchi goes down fairly theatrically. We'll get nothing for it. Charlton will have a goal kick. I see Jack Belton also getting ready, I think, to come on. Charlton take the goal kick. Ball out from Elliott to Ezenwata. We're under pressure. Good ball inside to Washington Amoa. Mavuti back inside to Elliott. Looks like Belton will be the first change as Thomas. Now Washington Amoa. Elliott thought about going back to the keeper. Turns away from Gilbertson. We'll find Thomas. Tago for Charlton. Cuts inside. He's got Elliott still there. Ezenwata. Ball forward to Richmond. It's a good out ball to Elliott, which stayed left. Looking for Macmillan, but it's somehow found. Oh, it's a case of Wigan shouting loudest, but they have the throw. And Charlton will make that change. Coming off will be Washington Amoa. Coming on will be Jack Belton. Great work from Thomas from the throw, but Gelhardt Has it again and then turned inside. I think it was Macmillan judged to have fouled the Wigan man and have a free kick, which they want to take quickly. Edwards. Great work from Tago to win it back for Charlton. And now on the left-hand side is Burnham. Just shrugs his man off. Still in possession, Burnham. Looking for options. Behind him is Tago. Richmond inside if he wants him. Richmond turns. Super work from Richmond. Still in possession of the football. Still there, Richmond. Burnham trying to turn away. Excellent footwork from Charlton to retain possession. Belton goes back to Ezenwata. He's got Mavuti to his right. Valentine also on the right-hand side. Richmond wants the ball, wants to turn. Gets it out to Thomas. Thomas. Tago to his left. Now Tago. We'll try to go through the legs of Edwards, but Edwards spotted that. And gets it back to the other Edwards to clear it away. Belton with the header. He's there again, Belton, but Gelhard the first to react. Excellent work from Ezenwata. And now Tago intercepts the attempted clearance into Belton. Belton across to Valentine. West End patrons loved that. As Valentine turns away from trouble, finds Richmond. Valentine going again, but Richmond just got it caught in his feet. And that allows Wigan and Spellman to clear it away. Mavuti, though, intercepts Belton for Charlton. Up to Richmond. Richmond turns inside. Macmillan for Charlton. Bringing it forward. Spellman has stayed down for Wigan with cramp, and now the referee will halt proceedings so he can receive some treatment. On this near side, Spellman, I thought at first it was just cramp. I say just cramp, it's painful enough, of course, but that's what I thought it was at first. Let's see what the physio does here. Yeah, it's exactly that, cramp. Which, no laughing matter. Anyone who suffers with it, or has suffered with it, I suppose sets of players will, well, so Charlton mostly would take on a drink, just the one. Hughes doing so for Wigan. If you are just joining us, the Addicts still lead this final of the Under-18 Professional Development League, 1-0. Macmillan with that goal on 25 minutes, but Charlton have had numerous chances since then to add to that lead, especially in this second half. Multiple chances, in fact, but it remains 1-0. 747, I'm reliably informed, is the attendance across in that West End. Looks a bit more than that, if I'm honest, but we're going to make a change. I don't know if that means Spellman can't continue. I'll look to see who it is, because it looks like Spellman is walking round. So I'd say his race is run. Spellman, yes it is. So Spellman will go off. And come on, well, Charlie Vesseldine. Should we start in Charlton's possession? We do, and it's Thomas for the Addicts. Across to Belton. Out here to Valentine. Burnham having his arm pulled. Richmond having his arm pulled. Now into Macmillan. Macmillan. Burnham. Out to Valentine. Valentine lifts it into the box. Richmond waits, but it's gone beyond him. Up to Tago. Ball inside to Richmond. Can he get it under control? No, he can't. Flicked away by Edwards, and now Gelhart will look to bring it away for Wigan. Held up by Thomas superbly. There'll be a Wigan throw. Edwards with it. Thomas again with superb work. This time found by Gelhart. Outstanding. Charlton's number 4. Recipient of the Pierre Belenghi Award just before the semi-final. Addicts take the free kick quickly. Elliott out to Ezenwata, just held up by Hughes, has to come back to Elliott. Ball round the corner to find Ezenwata again. Lifting it over the top, asking Burnham to chase it. Edwards with just the important header. McMillan looking for it, and he gets there as well, McMillan. Can he get his shot away? Still McMillan. Belton in support. Belton with Valentine to the right. Valentine. Still Belton there. Ball into the feet of McMillan again. Just got caught in possession, McMillan. Wigan will look to relieve some pressure here. Whistledean. Just on a sub. Infield to Gilbertson. Miller. Intercepted. Ball taken off him by Thomas. Up to McMillan. Now Belton. Nobody ahead, so he steps on it to Valentine. Back to Richmond. Mavuti. Just coming up to the half-hour mark. Elliott for Charlton. To his right is Mavuti. Burnham running into the channel on this right-hand side. Heavy touch, but he's still in possession. Cuts inside. Good work from Burnham. Lovely ball to find McMillan. McMillan, edge of the area. Can he get his shot away? Can, passes it almost into the corner of the net, and it's just wide again. Now Valentine is down. After all, that might well be cramp again. And this will happen a lot, I suspect, in the final quarter of an hour. Well, I suspect this might be something else other than cramp. He's just, Valentine's just pointing to below his knee. So, may have done him an injustice there. So there'll be a few added minutes here with injuries to several players. Charlton still have Deontay Davis on the bench as a defensive option, which means they will have to shuffle around a bit. Although I think Charlton do have to do it. Tago can operate left or right. I'm sure Davis could do the same. I didn't see an impact injury on Valentine, but no, we're going to have to change according to the physios there, so Phoenix Valentine will have to come off. Of course, Podgorny or Pettican could operate on that right-hand side. There's a wing-back option. It does look like, from here at least, that Davis is going to be that option, but we'll wait for that sub to take place as Wigan restart. Charlton currently down to 10 men. Mavuti with the headed clearance. Thomas further clear, but Miller for Wigan. Long switch out to Edwards on that right-hand side. Edwards towards the corner of the penalty area, taking on Ezenwata. Gets the cross off of Ezenwata for a corner. Charlton will be looking to make that sub now. And it will be Deontay Davis. Interesting to see how they shuffle that around. So while they were waiting so long for Phoenix Valentine to get around the side of the pitch, but Davis is on. His first job is to help defend this corner. From the Wigan right-hand side. Underneath the crossbar, and Williams had to battle against it was Thomas on the goal line, on the goalpost rather. There will be another corner as Valentine receives applause as he gets to the dugout. Swung in again low, and it's cleared well away by Tago. It goes back to corner taker. Tago though reacts well and gets there ahead of Gilbertson and clears it away long, and now Charlton look to break, and it's Burnham with a touch. Burnham, can he outstretch Recchi rather. Burnham still into the penalty area. Can he get his shot away? Lovely footwork, lovely turn, and a good save in the end. Goes back out to Davis. Davis lifts the ball in. Belton heads it back into the penalty area, but cleared away. Another real opportunity for Charlton. And give keeper credit, Taylor, for stopping that shot. Burnham did some outstanding work to get into that position. And Charlton do well to win it back once more. Good footwork from Ezenwata. Might get the shot away, does, and turn around for a corner. Super work from Charlton to keep the pressure on. The goal attempts continue to mount for the Addicts, but it remains 1-0. Now we have Hughes down for Wigan. 35 minutes on the clock. I'm sure Jason Pearce on the touchline will be hoping his side doesn't rue a few of the missed opportunities in this second half, and they are mounting. Give Taylor some credit in the Wigan goal for stopping that Burnham effort. Just a powerhouse, Lee Burnham, but powerhouse with skill. He's got into position, some great footwork to get that goal-scoring opportunity. Taylor did well to come out and close the angles down and get his body between ball and goal. Hughes up. He's looking entirely happy. That means Wigan will make another change. We shall see. But at the moment, it's a Charlton corner. Macmillan currently over this. So I'm looking for the short corner potential. Now might ignore that. Swung in under the crossbar, punched away. Comes out to Thomas. Thomas, a touch forward to Ezenwata, trying to get the ball in. It's blocked, but they'll find Belton. Belton will now look to do likewise. Swings it into the penalty area. Two Charlton players there. One of them is Elliott, but at least one offside, potentially two. Taylor looks to get a quick goal kick away, but wasn't there. Now out with Whistledine. Inside to Miller. Miller back to Hagan. Taylor on the edge of his penalty area. Sends it forward. Avuti with the headed clearance. Comes off of Hughes. There's Miller. Whistledine on the left-hand side. Back inside to Gilbertson. Miller, short option, back to Gilbertson. Charlton want to close down Richmond, but the ball in field. Straight through to Elliott, who's a little left ball to Ezenwata. Thought about a long one, send Burnham on his way, but Davis is the easier option. Well, Davis just slips momentarily, and could Charlton be in trouble here? Does well to recover in the end. And then a crunching tackle between Ezenwata. I think that was Tobin, I think it was. It was away for a Charlton goal kick, quickly taken out here to Tago, who is on the right-hand side. Attempted ball from Macmillan through the middle. It's going to come off Whistledine and out for a Charlton corner. And a touch from Thomas to find Macmillan. Charlton free corner taken quickly. Tago. Richmond is there. Still Tago. Now Richmond. Trying to use his footwork to get through the Wigan defence. We'll find Davis. Tees up. Thomas. Lovely ball back out to Ezenwata. His cross is blocked away by Hughes. Thomas for Charlton. finds there's a matter again. Lovely football from Charlton. There's a matter, turns away from trouble. Belton for the Addicts. Swings it across to the right. Has he got too much on it for Tago? No, he does well to keep it from going out of play. Tago. 2 men in front of him. Oh, trying to pass it through the middle. Belton retrieves the situation. And he's on it again. Belton. Out to Richmond on the right. Richmond gets it on his right foot. Back across. Blocked away. And Wigan clear it only as far as Mavuti. Inside to Thomas. Charlton hunting that second. There's a matter. Back inside to Thomas, who has to be careful not to be caught in possession here. Elliott likewise with Gelhardt closing him down. Now Mavuti. And Elliott's got Ezamatta to his left. Ezamatta lifts the ball forward, asking Burnham to chase it. Burnham into the left side of the penalty area. Davis in support. Davis got Thomas infield if he wants to use him. Instead goes backwards. Ezamatta finds Davis again. Nowhere to go, Davis, for a set backwards, but he does well. Retains possession superbly. Williams for the Addicts. Elliott to his left. And a big switch across to Tago. Bradley Tago, can he keep it in? And goes past his man superbly. Still Bradley Tago will find his way into the penalty area. Back across. Richmond. Can he finish Richmond? He can! Super finish, and as that clinched it for Charlton. Tago with some lovely work on this right-hand side. And with 4.5 minutes of normal time left, the Addicts have a second. And Rain and Richmond. Shot partially saved by the keeper, but not enough to stop Charlton from going 2-0 up. A lovely clearance from Williams to pick out Tago. He kept it in. The lunge in from Wesseldine allowed Tago to go past him. Got it into the area. Back across to Richmond. Just got it onto his left foot and guided it round and into the bottom corner. And Charlton will make a double change. Shea Lee Burnham has been outstanding. He's going to be replaced. I think that's Podgorny. And Bradley Tago is also going to come off for Podgorny and Pettican. Not a bad couple of changes to make with 5 minutes of normal time left. As I said before, 15 goals between them in this league this season. Have Charlton take an unassailable lead here. Wigan restart. Long ball forward. Nobody there in a blue and white shirt. There's Williams going to have to bring this under control. Just about does so. With Hughes hovering. It'll roll out to Elliott. Ball forwards. Just about found Davis. Does well. Now McMillan drills it across. Oh, he's looking for Richmond. Doesn't find him. Wigan have it back. Miller switches it across to the right hand side and Edwards. Davis in front of him. Edwards cuts inside Davis. It does well, Davis though, to win it back for Charlton. Now Thomas up to Richmond. Richmond just holds it up. Eventually challenged and tackled by Edwards. Edwards. Attempted ball through. It's cut out by Ezamatta and Richmond has it back. Davis for Charlton. Just been too strong for Wigan in most areas in this game. Hagan with a clearance and then Macmillan with a slightly late one on Recchi. Free kick to Wigan. Edwards with it. Drilled forward. Richmond with something on it in front of Gelhardt now. Wesseldine inside to Gilbertson. Wesseldine still outside, but Gilbertson goes back inside to Hagan and across to the right. Edwards closed down superbly, and there's lots of shirt pulling going on there from both players, I think. It's Pettican battling away. It's a Charlton throw. It sums up the Charlton ethic here this evening. There's Nwata with the throw. Back to Elliott. Switches it across to Mavuti, who's got Richmond available to the right, but left him a little short. And then steps Tobin. It's back now with Hagan. Across to Edwards. Charlton pressing well. Miller now for Wigan though. And to the left is Westledine. Bringing it forward, Westledine trying to send Tobin on his way. 10 minutes of added time as Gelhard sends the ball into the penalty area. That might lift Wigan a little bit as it drops to Recchi on the right. Davies trying to stop his cross. Back to Edwards, swings it in, headed up in the air by Ezenwata. Belton with the further, sorry, Podgorny with the headed clearance, and then he's got it back again, Podgorny. Trying to go past Miller. Miller, though, gets possession for Wigan. Podgorny battled away, gives away the throw. Hagan for Wigan. Across to Edwards. Bring it forward, Edwards. Well cut out by Ezenwata, and he's going to have to bring this forward on his own, and he does superbly, Ezenwata, and he's still going. Macmillan ahead of him. Podgorny trying to make it up into the penalty area, but Ezenwata across to Macmillan. Can he find Podgorny? He can. Podgorny onto his left foot. Will finish, just over the bar. And that would have sealed it without question for Charlton. And a lung-busting run from Ezenwata. And it almost set up Charlton's third as Mavuti goes down. Had some problems in the first half, the Charlton number 5. He's down again. Ezenwata needs a breather, it's no surprise. As Davies goes across to a few instructions. Cramp from Mavuti. Referee says play to continue. Taylor with the goal kick. Mavuti trying to get there, but it runs through to Hughes. Elliott for company. Hughes back to Wesseldine. Ball in field to Hughes again. Wesseldine back inside to Hughes once more. Hughes switches it across, looking for Edwards, who gets his head there to keep it in. Got ahead of him is Recchi. Foot in from Thomas. Finds Edwards though. Edwards with Miller on the overlap. Gets the cross in, Edwards, and Hughes with the touch. But Richmond will come across for Charlton. Just waited a little bit for that and invited the challenge, which came in. Charlton will have the throw in the corner. Charlton will have to take it from further back than that. And Richmond, I think, is just looking like that his legs are showing the weariness of the work he's put in. Right down the line, headed in field by Tobin. He'll get it back. Tobin back to Wesseldine. Further back to Hagan. Hagan switches it across to Edwards on the right. Chased by Pettican. Super work from Pettican. And here goes Ezenwata again. Ezenwata again is got there first, and again he's bundling forward. Ezenwata lifts the ball into the area. Podgorny on the far side. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. For a goal kick. And Ezenwata goes down. It's hardly a surprise. He's back on his feet now. And 2 absolute thunderous lung-busting runs from Ezenwata. Lung-busting and cramp-inducing, I suspect. As the cross comes by Mavuti, gets a foot in. Gelhart can't keep it in. It's gone Charlton's way. Gelhart adjudged to have got the last touch. Mavuti with it. We've played coming up to 4 minutes of the added 10 as Thomas flicks it on, but we're going to have it back. Hughes and Thomas battling away to try and get it back. Belton now does get it back for Charlton. Looking for Richmond. Back to Mavuti. Charlton looking to retain possession as much as possible now in the final minutes of this final. Mavuti once more brings it forward. Good ball up to McMillan. McMillan out to Davis on the left. Davis wants Thomas available inside of him. Belton in the centre circle. Across to the right is Richmond. Tries to go forward to Podgorny, who's just strayed a little early. He's offside, Podgorny. But it's in the end of the half that Charlton would prefer, at least. Taylor with the goal, free kick. Mavuti heads it backwards, and Elliott on hand to clear it away. Straight to Miller though, and his touch picked off by Belton into McMillan. Belton inside again. Richmond to the right. Inside to Belton once more. Belton, Thomas, Podgorny. Little touch to Thomas again. Richmond on the right. Podgorny available ahead. Cuts inside though, Richmond. Still got Belton available if he wants him. But there's a big switch on here for Davis. Good ball to find him, Davis. Will he keep it in? Yes. Davis. Still got Belton available. Belton. Thomas comes across. Instant ball back to Ezenwata. Thomas makes himself available once more. We'll find Ezenwata again. Back inside to Elliott. Just took a heavy touch, but he's retrieved it himself, Elliott, and brings it forward. Richmond to his right. Podgorny ahead. Little back heel looking for Richmond, but that'll go straight to Miller. And Wigan will look to mount an attack. Tobin. Out to Hughes. Tobin goes for the return. Across comes Elliott, slides in, great tackle. It's away for a throw into Wigan. We've got 3.5 minutes roughly. Throw goes back to Miller. Hagan. Across to Edwards. His namesake outside of him, Edwards. Taking on Davis. Davis sticks with him. Gets a slide tackle in. It's away for a throw in on the far side. Edwards. Cross picked off by Ezenwata. He's not going to run with this one. Just launches it forward. Petter can get there, gets his head to it. Can he pursue it himself? He's got it back under control. Still, Pettigan. Thomas now for Charlton. Pursued by Hughes, goes back to Davis. Belton available inside, but Ezenwata behind. Up to Thomas, he's been absolutely everywhere in this game. Ed Thomas. Elliott. Charlton captain. Will he be lifting that trophy very shortly? Belton. Good ball forward to Podgorny. And then McMillan out to Richmond. Can Charlton cap it off? Richmond. Uses that great footwork to get into the area. Can he get on the end of this? Can he finish? Richmond on his right foot. Shot! And it's in! Keeper couldn't hold it. And Raynon Richmond gets his second. Charlton's third. 7 minutes into added time. The Addicts now have that unassailable lead. 3-0. Charlton have just been too hot to handle for this Wigan side. And Raynon Richmond, whose glorious footwork in the first half, created opportunities without getting maybe his just rewards. And in the second half, 2 goals for Charlton's number 7. Has really put this tight beyond reach of Wigan Athletic. And the Addicts will be lifting the under-18 Professional Development League trophy. Still have probably 2.5 minutes or so of added time to finish. Before we begin the festivities for the victory at Charlton. It'll be the 4th time Charlton have lifted this trophy. But the first time since 2018. 10-year wait for Charlton. 8-year wait for Charlton. And Jason Pearce has guided this team to the national final winners. Wigan down that right-hand side with Hughes. I think that wasn't the challenge from Esnwata, who brought it away superbly. It was the foul by Davis, I think, on Edwards that's caused this free kick. Well, we've hit the 10-minute mark, but obviously the goal and its celebrations would have added, I'd say, about 1.5 minutes. As we can have a free kick on this right-hand side. Free kick comes in, Williams comes out, punches it, but straight to Edwards, who gets his shot away, but wide of Williams' goal, and it remains 3-0. And there is the final whistle. And the Addicts have won the National League final. 2 goals from Rain and Richmond, added to the super strike from Ellis McMillan in the first half. Gave Charlton the victory. No more than they deserved, the Addicts. 10-minute spell in that first half gave Charlton the lead. Wigan had a couple of bright spells in that first half, but nothing that really troubled Charlton. The block shot from Gilbertson, the most they could contribute. Second half, it was pretty much all Charlton. Chance after chance went begging before Rain and Richmond added that second. And then he finished it off, the coup de grace, on 97 minutes. A superb individual goal again. And the Addicts run out 3-0 victories. 3-0 victors rather here at the Valley. Superb work from everybody involved. Good luck picking a man of the match out of that lot, because every player to a man played superbly this evening. Well, it's been a delight to bring you this under-18 trophy. I think the presentation will continue. I'm not entirely sure how much longer we've got on camera. At some point I've got to get down there and interview Jason Pearce and maybe some players as well, but I'll continue for as long as I can. And Charlton celebrating. Suddenly the cramp isn't there anymore. And the presentation will take place on the halfway line. Plenty of celebrations on that pitch. And more to come, I suspect. Thought Ed Thomas was outstanding in that midfield. Esnwata in defence, Elliott as well, Mavuti. Solid backline, Phoenix Valentine, who started on that right side before having to go off. And Richmond on the left. Tago as well, honestly, the Alan McMillan who opened the scoring. I think every player, sheer Lee Burnham, what a shift he put in. Washington Amoa. As I said, difficult to pick out just one player, if I'm honest, even the subs. Belton came on, did superbly. And Charlton players and staff have a huddle to just congratulate each other. Jason Pearce, I'm sure, telling his charges that's what a great job they've done this season. And going right to the end. And beating a very good Wigan side, by the way, who topped the Northern Division. And there's some players down there with bright futures indeed. And there's the celebrations. And I will just hold fire to before heading pitch side to do some interviews, just to witness the presentation trophy. Wigan played their part in this final. They'll receive runners-up medals. And they've had a good season, winning the division, Northern Division, Group A as it's known. But tonight, Charlton were just too strong in pretty much every department. Some social media stuff going on with Washington Amoa and Bradley Tago. Also Pettigan is there, I think. We look like we're ready for the presentation. I believe we're going to talk to Ellis McMillan and Rain and Richmond, as well as Jason Pearce. First up, I believe, will be presentation to the runners-up. James Westlake from the Premier League will be making the presentation.
Now, firstly, would you please show your appreciation to this evening's match officials,
Match officials will receive their medals first.
and fourth official, Nick Bruce.
And now Wigan Athletic will receive their runners-up medals. As I said, not to be for them this evening, but they've had a good season, winning their division. but on the night found Charlton far too strong. It's sad that we're the wrong side, by the way, but Sillaby. Taylor, the Wigan goalkeeper, who kept Charlton at bay on a number of occasions before the Addicts got that second. Braden Richmond's just got cramp. What a time to get it. And Tate Elliott will come forward to lead his side onto the rostrum, onto the podium. Phoenix Valentine the first to come up. And Thomas, superb in midfield. Burnham, Belton, we could go through the whole side. They all played their part this evening. Tate Elliott will be the last to go up, so he can lift the trophy aloft. There's a writer, and it might be Raynham Richmond who'd picked the worst time to get cramp. I don't know if that's the base of the trophy that Tate Elliott might be the man of the match award, I don't know. Gets his medal. And very shortly we'll be lifting the trophy. You're just going to have to trust me on this. That the trophy is going to get lifted, because I'm not sure we have the best view. I think we'll know, when the trophy is lifted. There may well be some pyrotechnics here.
So let's hear it for our winners.
And there they go. There is the presentation. The trophy lifted. Charlton have won the final. It's been a superb evening here at the Valley. The Addicts Under-18 Professional Development League national champions, and well deserved it is. Just leaves for me to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to you all for watching and listening. Thank you to Dylan on camera. Thank you to Sam and all the White Label folk in production. It's been our pleasure to bring you this from the Valley this evening. That's the last action of the season for us. And for Charlton TV, we hope you have a fantastic summer, and do join us again next season when it's the Championship again. But from all of us, a very good evening.